I think we are. I mean, we're getting audio to the internet. Right
yeah, we are.
Actually, I am Dad.
We're just not recording to. Yeah,
we are now.
So that little part before we started recording is bonus material.
A little bonus for you.
For anybody that's watching.
Everybody that tuned in early.
That's
you
right.
got a little bit of
just.
All right.
You are you gonna do the intro for a change?
We need a theme song.
We don't have a theme song.
Contextually yours.
Oh, it is so good.
Oh yeah, hey. So here with Griffin as usual, and Gabe Kea, who's doing a comedy show tonight. So if you're
listening to this right now, you've got to leave when I leave because that's when the show starts.
Yeah, yeah.
The show starts in about 40 minutes.
And that's here in good old Springfield, Missouri, down at the Blue Note.
Blue Room.
Blue Room. Yeah. Blue Note, Blue Room. It's all the same fucking shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's some blue place.
I missed the Blue Note though.
Some shit.
There was a blue note. Yeah, the Blue Note was in
Columbia.
Yeah.
So
I saw Tom Jones there.
Tom Jones, nice.
Yeah, that was epic. Actually,
nice.
It was scary. It was good.
And we have Jason on the show as well.
Yes, we also have Jason,
who is like Cher.
Jason like Cher.
Oh wow, I'm much louder from the computer. Anyway, so everybody's gonna do shots of Malort. Everyone that's here, people that'll show up later. Malort is a Swedish liquor from Chicago.
Yeah.
And how's it Swedish?
Swedish immigrants.
It was made by a Swedish man.
Made by.
Can we open this then?
Swedish Americans.
Pouring.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm going to pour the first shot glass in a Norwegian shot glass since this is a Swedish liquor. So this is like really pissing some people off.
No, it's all Scandinavian.
It's all Scandinavian. Yeah, tell that to a scan. That's what we call. Oh my gosh, you can smell this stuff. You can smell this stuff from like 5 feet away.
Smells great.
I'm closer than
5 feet away. I can't smell that stuff.
Darn it.
Like almost exactly.
2.5 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, it's twice as smelly.
It's delicious. For my friends in Chicago.
Pour 3 shots.
Cheers.
3 shots. All right.
We'll do it. We'll christen this shit.
We got some shout outs.
I'll get in. No. I'll get in on that.
We got some shout outs.
No, I pretend to be a covering alcoholic, but in fact, I just don't like the taste.
But in fact, I just don't.
Otherwise, people argue with you.
Well, just try it.
I did. I don't like it.
Let's take shots.
Here's the third one. Right there.
I usually recommend to those people try and
want one more?
I'll get it out of the way early.
All right.
You would? No. Okay, so we got.
I smell wormwood in this.
Yep.
It's fantastic. I'm all about that.
It's wormwood's like the.
So I feel.
I don't know what else is in it.
Extremely bad from how much I drank last night. I feel like I'm on the edge of losing.
So it's going to be a great comedy show tonight.
So you
guys get out.
Feel badly or you feel bad?
Badly, correct.
There we go. So you're guilty.
Good job. I'm guilty.
There we go.
Guilt. My mother's guilt is coming.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do this shit.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
That's really not bad.
Better no.
Like, where was the horribleness that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't say it was horrible.
No, it kind of tastes like an empty cupboard.
It tastes
Oh, this is dust.
burnt firewood.
There's dust or something.
It's
Which part of the cupboard? The spice drawer?
It's like
The entire spice drawer, yes.
Yes, all mixed together.
Tastes like a curry.
It's like if aliens made moonshine in a bathtub.
I don't know if I go that far. Like I think
You make it sound very interesting, and I doubt that.
I'm trying not to chase with it and get all the flavor. And it's
No, it
it's
really
getting
has.
worse.
Especially the aftertaste is really
It's bad.
fucking weird.
It's
I think aquavit had a more like a bigger sting to it, like the liquor made out of caraway.
It tastes like what I think burning plastic smells like.
Ew. Yeah.
That's a really good way to say it.
I can't argue with
Actually, that is the smell.
It doesn't taste like any other alcohol I've ever had. That's for sure.
I don't think it's
It does smell like
ridiculous.
somebody who puts all their trash in a fire out back.
Yes.
It smells
Things
like
that you
trash
should
fire.
not be burning because you know it's bad for the world.
That's what it tastes like, yeah.
What
What's
about
really funny is that that's actually a description I've seen
that it tastes
multiple times.
that it tastes like
a
trash
trash fire.
Dumpster fire.
What about like absinthe is like that's I mean it's very comparable in the taste, but
Yeah, it's pretty similar, except absinthe is
Except
arguably
you
good.
drop a sugar cube in it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, this doesn't.
I might have made that.
I could have used a sugar cube. That's what that was missing, was a sugar cube.
I've got an absinthe sugar spoon around here somewhere.
I cannot get that.
If we want
taste
to try
out
that.
now either.
Yeah.
It's
So,
Feels like a deep sweat right now. That's what I'm feeling.
So speaking of
So,
terrible aftertaste,
Gabe has to leave pretty soon,
Yeah, I gotta get rolling soon.
so I want to talk about when we worked together.
Start it, and I'm gonna get some water. so
Okay.
All right.
So one story I have is that we're doing this. It was a video production job. It was my first job out of college, and our boss was this creepy, shady dude, and we had to. We were doing these security videos, and the same guy that was doing the security videos was involved with Crime Stoppers, and he wanted to do a Crime Stoppers commercial, and so we set it up. And I was supposed to act in it. I was the editor there, and I was like, I don't
Were you
know how to
McGruff?
act. And we just shot it in the back, in the warehouse, and
Sounds like you're doing a porn.
yeah, we shot it in the back,
We shot it in the
right in that warehouse.
and they gave me like his like. I was like, well, what do we have for like props or whatever? And our boss like pulls a gun out of his desk, like a legit gun, like, and I'm.
He's like, this
supposed
is
to
not a
use it.
prop.
I think
Yeah,
we all got
and
it
he's
with
like-
a legit gun
He's
by the
like,
description.
yeah, and he's like, well, it's not loaded, so we're good.
A water
Like,
pistol would have made it a very different story. Also, still
Yeah.
would have been part of the porno, but go ahead.
Nerf gun, maybe.
So yeah, so then this other dude we had like came running into the, or I came running into the warehouse, mugged him, whatever. Like did this whole scene, and then did some effects over it. And then I thought I can never. It was supposed to be aired in before movies in Colorado. I was like, I can never drive through Colorado because now there's going to be a subconscious image of me in every cop's head in Colorado. And if I ever get pulled over, I'm
The
fucked.
Crime Stoppers guy. Yeah, you've never been an actor, and then he's like, "Hey, you look like a convicted felon or something."
Could be worse. You could be that guy who did the STD posters.
Yeah. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever gonna fuck him.
Like I feel
Or if they are,
I feel your
it's pretty
pain.
suspect.
I feel your pain on that. Like when we did Super Andy and I got cast as the mugger, I got told by a handful of people that apparently I looked way too legitimate as a mugger for that shot.
I don't see that at all. I don't see you motivated enough to be a mugger.
Watch me steal a purse.
There's a level of apathy that you've got that mugging just not your job description.
I think you'd have to have like less weight on you and like
To be a more convincing
be
mugger.
more like you'd have to be like super skinny.
You're gonna have to get in shape if you
I
want to
think
get
you're-
back in the game. is
You're
what
too,
you're saying.
you're too passive to be a mugger. I mean, it's like,
You're way too fat to,
Yeah.
to steal from people.
Dude,
Yeah, that's not
Dude.
really what I meant, but
I'm
dude,
too
give me your wallet or else I'll
still
stand here
friends,
for
right?
a while longer.
I'm too Canadian to be cast as a mugger. I'm like, I'd just be like, sorry, as I'm mugging.
Can I please have your
does everybody still think you're Canadian?
Well, I tell them constantly that I am. So
Oh, yeah, that works out.
Totally play
I
that
like
shit up.
Canadian. I think, you know.
Just by the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few
That's what we got.
words. Outhouse. That's one that out and house.
Yep.
Yeah. Out.
It's not boot. It's not a boot. It's about.
It's weird because you worked them into your vocabulary quite well. Like,
Yeah, just slip it in.
I would like immediately think that either A, you're Canadian, or B, possibly from like North Dakota.
North Dakota. Yeah, I was cast as a mugger in Fargo.
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 I was mugger number 36.
Mugger number 36.
I was the best friend in a wedding for a friend that was from the Moorhead area.
Oh, man.
And all his family totally talked like that.
Oh, yeah.
Are all the muggers polite?
Canadian muggers are the most polite muggers.
Yeah.
Like, please?
Wisconsin had a lot of that going for it, too. I did, for a previous company that I was working for, flying around doing openings and shit for them, we did one in Appleton, Wisconsin. And there was this kind of cute lady cop there who sounded like the cop from Fargo, like the chick cop from Fargo.
Yeah.
So that was like it was like a weird, like, just... I don't know, like my headspace was just gone when she's like, hey, we're over here and we're just, watching the lane and everything and making sure everybody's being good and stuff, Like, I don't know. Like, it was Bobby's mom, and I guess
And she was super pregnant, so you were super into that.
Yeah, like I had this weird Bobby's mom fetish.
Like, I'd hit that because someone else already did, so I know it's good.
Yeah, and you can just keep going, and there's no risk. Never.
I like that rationale. Someone's already hit that. I know I got a 9-month window to not get this lady pregnant.
Exactly. And then, who doesn't like a little bounce back?
Oh, shit.
All right, I gotta head out, guys. Hey, head out. I meant to do that. No, thank you very much for having me.
Real quick, say all the political shit you want to say on other shows that people actually watch or listen to.
Oh, political shit on other shows? Well, I've been trying to do this joke on stage, and it didn't work out too well last night, but I'll try it right now. It's basically about the Confederate monuments, about how, like, the argument is, like, some people are like, well, we want to keep the history. We don't want to erase history. So I'm like, why don't we just erect monuments of us tearing down the Confederate monuments, right? Just have, like, some guy with a rope pulling the and then some other guy's got, like, his camera, and he's Snapchatting it. So, like, 20 years in the future, it'll be like, hey, remember when we used to Snapchat everything? Make that part of the monument. Then I read this about King George III. There was a monument in New York, like before the Revolutionary War, after the Declaration of Independence. Everybody charged the statue of King George III, tore it down, and there's actually a museum in New York of them tearing down the statue, like, with ropes. And I was like, hey, that's my joke. That's what I was talking about. So there's actually already a statue like that out there. And then I read that the statue of King George III was actually melted down and turned into 42,000 munitions, bullets that they used against the British in the Revolutionary War, and I heard that.
That's metal as fuck.
Yeah, and now I know that's metal as fuck for sure.
I'm pretty sure that's apocryphal, but it sounds good. The metal's not pure enough to use for munitions, is what I read somewhere. I'm not an expert here. Someone else who cares about that.
Well, I said that's what they can do with the Confederate monuments, right? We can melt them down to bullets and give those bullets to the St. Louis Police Department. Right? Boom! Topical at the end.
That's beautiful. All right, everybody, that was Gabe Kea.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being out here. You can check him out if you want to know more about Gabe. Head over to gabekea.com. Check him out. Funny guy. If you're in the Springfield area, shoot on down and check him out over at the Blue Room tonight, down at Billiards.
Make sure to shoot me that link because I plan on face stalking him.
All right.
Nice to meet you. Take care.
So
maybe more than face stalking, but hey, if you do it right, they don't know.
Have a good night. I mean, not you guys, because you're still here, but I mean,
exactly. But
Gabe, have a good night.
Yeah, he's headlining tonight, actually.
So
that's fucking rad.
So I had a movie experience I have to tell you about.
Yeah.
Earlier today, it was doubly traumatic. First of all, I went to see the new Kingsman movie, and that was what's worse than dog shit.
The Kingsman 2.
That would be Dark Tower movie. Oh, well, nobody saw it, so it didn't count.
I did.
Oh, also, I think you just did a Nazi salute when you said that.
No.
You meant to raise your hand, and you just sort of...
It was more about here.
Nazis!
It's more of a high.
It hurts that they fucked up the Dark Tower. That's just...
It does hurt. Yes.
It's like
Kingsman Golden Circle was absolutely wretched in every possible way. It was sad. It makes me hate the world.
It was like a movie for stupid people?
Yes. It was a movie made for stupid people. It wasn't a stupid movie. It was made... it was stupid, yes. But it was made for stupid people. It was too stupid to be for teenagers and too adult to be for adults who were not stupid. It was stupid. It was just stupid. If you want to see a computer-generated vagina be intruded upon in a finger bang in the middle of an alleged action movie,
when does this happen?
Wait, what?
No, not sarcasm. I don't need to make that shit up. This movie was that bad.
Wait, so that wasn't a thing that happened.
No, that happened in the movie. You could see
That's
it.
a literal. Wow.
You literally get a
I thought it was
computer-generated
exclusive to Pornhub. too.
vag tunnel being violated by a finger.
I'm down.
I mean, I guess in the age of Trump, pussy grabbing is in vogue again.
We call that yoni grabbing.
But
On the other hand, I saw it, and
You immediately wanted to fuck Bill Skarsgård?
Well, yeah.
only in costume.
Yeah. Only in costume.
Only in costume.
Oh,
And okay,
my
I
dick
saw it
against all
dressed
those
as a
teeth.
clown. By the way,
Yeah.
I went
Rows
to
of teeth.
all clown screening of it.
You went to that?
Yeah, I went to that.
Speaking of Skarsgårds, if Gustav Skarsgård, for some weird ass reason, hears this podcast and wants to come on the show,
Yes.
because you're drunk or on coke or something stupid, by all means, please
And
come
you
to the
can-
show.
You can stay in character as Floki the whole time.
Yeah, dude, Mark Wahlberg was in our town the other day doing a thing. I mean, if Mark Wahlberg can come to town, you can totally come. You're a much better actor than.
He is now the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Both
by the
Bushes
way.
and Jimmy Carter.
$68 million last year.
Thursday.
This was the problem with having a podcast and a party. It's multiple people talking
sorry.
That's exciting.
Don't
But
worry
you
about
can,
it.
Should've
you
set
can
up
sit
more
on the mic if
microphones.
you want.
Yeah, more money.
Yeah, if you want to talk, get on a microphone.
Yeah, get on the mic.
Because those
We're gonna-
people right there can't hear you.
We're going to need to. We're eventually going to clear out one of these spots for a Malort station for anybody who's joining to take a shot of Malort.
Please, no more of that.
So at the movie, this woman next to
I
me
like it.
kept talking through the whole thing and texting on her phone at the Alamo, so they love that. And she took multiple phone calls.
Wait,
So she was a
during the
charmer.
movie, she took phone
Thank
calls
God she
during
didn't
the
ruin
show.
a good movie. But anyway, after the movie, I get up to leave, and she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry if my son bothered you. He's disabled."
I would punch that bitch
And
in
I'm
the
like,
face.
"You're blaming the son
How did
because
they
you're
not
a
kick
fucking
her?
cunt."
I'm not advocating violence against women.
How
I'm just
didn't
saying
they
I'm advocating
kick
violence against people who talk in theaters.
Okay, fair point.
I just thought, you are the worst human.
How did they not kick her out already?
Well, I did ask, but they get one warning.
Well,
Yeah,
look, we've got some more people showing up.
Oh yeah!
Show. You know,
Shots of Malort.
Mandatory.
since we've got this huge
It's not worth
thing
it.
and people showing up and everything like
Can't
that.
pronounce it. I'm not drinking it. Just so you know, you can't have it mandatory and not be able to pronounce.
Can I tell them how to pronounce it? What did you
Hey,
get?
everybody in Chicago pronounces it Malort, and it's from Chicago.
Wait, how is it actually
So-
pronounced? Hold up.
Yeah, how is it pronounced?
Malort.
Really?
She said
I knew the
Malort.
umlaut means something.
She said Malort for anyone who didn't.
Hey, that's Tortuga shit, yo.
Isn't mall French for bad?
So it is my birthday on Thursday.
Probably.
People give me
Just
shit.
throwing it out.
Spanish. It's Spanish.
Did you say
Yeah,
mall?
romance languages.
So now we're in this weird thing where a bunch of new people have just shown up to the show. So I'm just gonna go back in and just edit.
Yeah,
edit it
that'll be
in
edited
anyway.
in the final.
You'll hear it being fantastic later.
podcast.
What'd you get for your birthday?
I got a bottle of wine. Bottle of wine and a rum cake.
Yeah.
There is so much lag on the video.
Drink.
It's that one with the big cock on it.
It's food
Yes.
and drink with drink and both.
I was
food and drink.
gonna get him a birthday cake with a big cock on it.
Well, she got him wine with a big cock on it.
Yeah, it is Rex Goliath, so it's got a big cock on it.
Yeah.
New sponsor, Rex Goliath. It's got a big cock on it.
As a disclaimer, that is not our sponsor.
But they can't.
Oh, we haven't
But
given
they
a
can
shout
be.
out. I need to.
That doesn't look
there's,
that big to me.
There's a couple of sponsors we
It's a
need
huge cock.
to address, and then there's
Why are you putting that on my coaster?
the shout outs. I gotta give a shout out to Mike Schaefer.
Mike Schaefer.
Mike Schaefer.
Mike Schaefer.
Who got a
Schaefer.
lung transplant
Hey,
and is doing fucking great after being in a bed for God knows how long.
Mike.
And so, cheers to you, Mike.
Cheers to Mike.
Get well.
He is well. That's him getting well,
Well,
which is
I'm sure
fucking
he'll feel
awesome.
That is pretty
better
fucking
once he's
fantastic.
healed up.
It's amazing science, too.
Yeah, and there's
Yes.
I mean, they still gotta wait for a certain amount of time, make sure his body doesn't reject it, all that kind of shit. But like for now, he's fucking
I mean, he's obviously better than
out and
he
about,
was.
moving
I mean,
around,
it's insane.
doing all kinds
It
of
can only
shit.
go up from here.
Yeah, it's
I'll say,
amazing.
any lung's better than no lung.
That is
Right.
very true.
Wise words.
And I haven't been tracking the comments.
put that on birthday
So
cake.
if anyone has
Are there comments?
this on their like phone or whatever, and
Is anyone
see the
actually
comments,
watching this shit show?
we could actually respond to some of
don't
them,
know.
maybe.
Can we see how many people are watching this live?
Yeah, and
Is it 2?
I don't know if Butch was gonna come or not, but
We have
Butch, where
2
are you?
right there.
It was like one view.
number 2.
And
It's 2.
People will be talking about this for years to come.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
No.
I was like really stoked that we got.
Halloween's coming up,
Gabe.
dude. Halloween's coming up.
Halloween's always coming up. Sometimes
Yeah.
just longer
Yeah.
than other times.
I don't know what I'm gonna do for Halloween. Like I feel
No?
inept, completely inept. Like I don't know. what
I feel like that every year,
Yeah.
except the one year I went to a bunch of like thrift stores and flea market to get my my Casey Jones costume,
Yeah.
which worked out really well.
Why don't you have this window maximized?
Like why are you talking off microphone and pointing at things?
I'm trying to look at the comments.
If you're not using
Ooh,
this
hey, there's one person watching right now.
Hey.
Hello, one person.
Hey,
probably-
Wait, is that? I was gonna say, is that the
That could
computer?
be-
Wait, no, that's me.
That's
Hang on.
Hey.
Well, there should be 2.
Fantastic.
I'm also
Did you-
technically watching.
Oh, there are 2 now. Yes, it just updated.
Did you post it?
Please don't post any
Posted
mean
it.
or hateful comments.
Posted it on your page and on CMG.
I just okay. CMG. Yeah, I gotta do CMG.
Yeah, posted on CMG. And then like tag me in it and say Griffin said watch my fucking podcast, cocks and vaginas.
Yeah, don't be sexist. You have to invite both.
Yes, both are welcome, cocks and vaginas. But we're
So
here
what,
now.
what were the other things we want to discuss? Because
Is there a format to this show?
Not really. There's just notes, and then we
Yeah.
decide whether or not we follow the notes.
I was in.
There's the end of the world thing, but we didn't really research.
Yeah, today's the end of the world.
anything.
Yeah, I was really hoping that would happen during the Kingsman movie,
Yeah.
and it didn't, and I'm so pissed off.
Like how many times have we recently, at least recently,
In my
faced
life,
this-
somewhere around 6,
Yeah.
7, probably more. I didn't hear about.
Y2K.
Yeah, the
was,
guy who predicted it changed his mind, as they always do at the last minute.
That's fucked up. I was really hoping this was gonna be the one.
I mean, it depends. Like an actual end of the world, I'm not really down with, but a rapture, I'm good with.
So that we can get all the Christians out of the way.
Well, I wish I'd been the one to come up with the rapture pet service.
Going to hell, though, right?
You know how great that would be in this area? How
One
much
L?
space
So-
would be
2
freed
L.
up?
Because
If all of
the Bible thumpers are the people that follow the Bible the
Or
least.
just that you could move into one of the many churches around the area
All
and
of
make it your house
All of the
afterwards.
Christians were left here, you know.
But so you'd heard about the pet service for the rapture, right?
Huh?
Some people in California had this brilliant idea, and it is a literal thing. They have it as a business where they are selling pet watching service to conservative Christians, so that after the rapture, their pets are not left alone.
Why
their
the fuck didn't I come up with
Their
this?
employees have to sign an agreement stating that they are in fact atheists, and they fully understand that if God is real and there is a rapture, they are not going to heaven and they will be left behind. And then they agree to take care of the pets in perpetuity. So that the conservative Christians, which I mean, I get that they're sincere beliefs and good on them. I'm not mocking them for that, but I am saying straight up that it is hilarious that yes, they are paying money for a future service, so their beloved pets.
I wanted to make a mega church that was founded on the principles
by
of
TBN
taking
too.
your evil money to where we would gather your evil money as you donate it, and we would cleanse it and then send it back into the world as we spend it. So, like, basically, we're providing a dual service by cleansing your evil iniquity and then sending it back into the world as we exchange
It's
it for.
not involved enough.
I am reasonably sure that is the definition of money laundering right there. That they literally have a crime named that.
Yeah. It's just the abstract idea. I'm pretty sure I can pretty it up a couple other ways.
Yeah, I think it could work if you do that.
Yeah.
You gotta call it, and there has to be like steps.
Yeah. You gotta plant the
Not
seed of faith.
I mean, what you do?
Your shots.
So we're doing it.
Oh, they have to do their, however you pronounce it, shots. Just like everyone else.
So, what if you just have somebody pray over the money and then send it back to the person for a small fee?
Well, that doesn't really work because
Like,
if you
say,
get the
10%?
same, yeah, even if it's cleansed, if you get that same money back to you and you haven't sent it out into the world first, then it doesn't work.
Say tithing, I think it's called.
I'm pretty sure the churches are already doing this.
Yeah, they are, but I'm gonna do it because I want your money.
I hate to admit this, but I went to James River Assembly for most of my youth.
Yeah.
And that is just, too perfect of an example of that. How much money a church can make. My goodness.
So you went most of your youth just off and on as opposed to just staying there, right?
Before I had a choice and I had a car and...
but I mean, you weren't like one of those bunker people, right? You weren't just trapped there.
Well, I mean, in the sense that when I was living, when I was, 13 years old, and my mom says, hey, you're going to church.
I thought it might be an unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt kind of thing.
It felt like that at times.
Isn't their name?
I did have to go to camps and things like that over the weekend. That
concentration Christian camps.
Yes, very much. Oh, hey.
Yeah. Hey,
hello.
Oh, back it up.
You're on.
For some reason, I thought.
No,
you had
I'm not getting anything.
We hear you.
We hear you
quite loudly when you get closer.
Oh, it's my microphone.
Nope.
My ear.
It's not your mic. It's your headphones.
There it is. Sorry.
Weren't you you were raised pretty orthodox, right?
Oh, I was, through most of high school. Yeah, I was, I don't know, in the cult, so to speak. It was pretty crazy in hindsight. Yes. And then after high school, I took a summer away. I'm like, oh, this is what real life's like. This is awesome.
So wait, what? I'm sorry if I wasn't paying attention. What was it? What specific denomination?
Assemblies of God.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know, Christian, but like corporate Christian. If you've ever seen the headquarters downtown.
Oh, okay. Assemblies of God.
Yes.
First Ass of God. If you notice, on their vans,
make some money.
If they open the door of the back of the van where it says First Assembly of God, it reads First Ass of God.
I will tell you, as a kid and a little further into adulthood than I would like to admit, I just assumed First Baptist, First Assembly, and the Second Assembly. I just thought that was the order they opened in town. I'm an expert on this.
Yeah.
I thought, why isn't there a 423rd Assembly at this point?
That's kind of smart
because they just change it to something else,
Interesting fact.
You know what would make this show better?
What?
What's that?
Malort shots.
Malort shots.
Everyone, yes, okay. Newcomers.
Yes, everyone who is new, line up.
Anybody who hasn't had one yet needs to take a shot.
Line up. Make sure that you're on camera.
Jefferson's Malort.
I believe you. It's fantastic.
Say hi. Say hi to the studio audience.
I have that same shirt.
Hello, studio audience.
I love this shirt.
Or audience abroad.
Abroad?
People.
Oh, Jeff,
yeah.
See this one?
They're not all women.
They're not. Wow. I just realized where you went with that. It's beautiful.
There's a new cartoon. I haven't checked it out, but I super want to.
Okay, somebody pour shots.
Haven't watched it yet, but I'd love David Tennant.
Yes.
Yes. Scrooge McDuck.
Do you know he's also doing
there you go.
a...
sorry.
He's got it.
Precious book.
Malort show.
They're doing...
hey, YouTube. Hey.
I'm not having a shot.
You are having... That's kind of the prerequisite to coming to this, isn't it?
That's cool. I'm diabetic. I'm not taking insulin for that shit.
That shit has at least a nice wormwood.
You're drinking beer, though.
What? Fuck off. God, wormwood is delicious. Well,
It has the word worm in it. How good is it going to be?
Well, James can at least take a
Just
shot.
like a taste, a drop.
I've had it quite a few times. I'm from Norway.
I've decided that it's...
see, I told you. Scandinavian.
That would explain the hairs.
What?
As far as I know.
All right.
Well, I mean, the original, the brew that it's
Be
made
in
off
the
of.
spirit of things and have literally covered bottom, but it tastes like crap. So.
Hey, you're spoiling it.
Anyway,
Okay.
Don't.
we're gonna watch
Soon
this.
enough.
Oh,
I feel like I have shot plenty of terrible liquors.
We have
It's a roller coaster of flavors.
Hit me up.
You're double dipping.
It is a roller coaster of flavors.
I recognize your shot
Not necessarily all good.
Those are the ones I brought last time, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Why does it taste like grapefruit?
There you go.
It tastes like
Oh, just wait. Oh, just you wait.
It tastes like if you rubbed your mouth out with like grapefruit soda.
Which is actually a popular candy in Canada. Is grapefruit soap.
We were gonna have like a little thing where each person would take a
They're all
shot
about it.
one at a time.
Yes.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, why are you double dipping? No.
he likes weird shit.
If somebody wants to, like,
Apparently.
if someone
He
needs to come
drinks
around and take a drink with, I'll do it, but, like, that's not
on
my fault.
purpose.
Like in comparison to alkavit, like that's nothing.
That's
like
true. Octavix is
fucking
something
nothing.
else. Paint stripper, as we call it at home.
Dude, I really like the caraway flavor.
Oh no, not this one. This one is
That is not caraway.
No, that is wormwood. That is a whole lot of wormwood.
And burning plastic.
I like caraway.
I love caraway. That is not caraway.
Somebody had told me once.
Give me some Irish soda bread. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know,
Aqua
that is
Leaf?
not.
How do you guys pronounce
Somebody had told me once that it was
Aquavit.
dandelion,
Golly?
like dandelion liquor.
Oh, I've tried dandelion wine before. That's somehow worse than that.
I think that's what old guys do on their face.
Dandelion, nothing is good.
No,
Like,
yes, it tastes like
Yeah.
the worst
Dandelion's one
grass
of those
ever.
things that it's one of those. It's so shitty. People think it must be good for you.
Oh no. Yeah, maybe healthy people will
Oh,
convince
but
me it's
dandelion
good, like
salad.
kombucha or something like that. But no,
It's
terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, does someone want a shot of something that's
Carl-
actually really delicious?
Really yummy. It's like,
Yes, I still have the taste of that in my mouth after half an hour.
There is kind of a plasticky aftertaste.
Burning plastic aftertaste.
That aftertaste is not.
She's not wrong about the grapefruit notes. Like there's definitely some grapefruit.
You are not a nice person for introducing that to us, Jeff.
I am pretty sure that with any time you use the word notes in reference to food or drink, you're implying the food or drink is palatable to start with.
Yeah.
Nobody says, you know what? This human feces has some grassy notes.
People in Chicago do all the time.
Evidently.
I mean, someone does, but you don't want to be friends with that person.
Chicagans.
What are you looking up on
Yeah,
Wikipedia?
so we got
I brought it last night to the hookah bar, and it's really.
Oh, Malort. Thought it was called Malortcast.
Probably that stuff that you can make like
Malort is a Swedish word.
That's the
for
correct
Yeah,
pronunciation.
it's like it's.
I'm definitely not
Which,
that
I guess I'm not pronouncing it.
It totally is.
If you click it, it will give you a pronunciation.
So you don't like podcasting?
No.
Can anyone even hear us? There's a lot going on in the background.
Yeah, there is a lot going on in the background.
I'm so
And they just
sorry,
broke
I
a shot
was
glass.
buzzer.
That was yours.
Sorry, Candace.
You just made this smooth handoff into horribleness.
I thought I was gonna.
I was just about to say there's something there, but then I was like, he's trying to be surreptitious. I don't want to ruin it.
I'm sorry, Griff, dude. I thought it was a hand buzzer.
Well, you don't really have to.
I don't know what happened, but it was glass breaking.
You know,
My bad.
sorry about the pandemonium
Yeah.
to the person who's watching.
Twas hers.
Is that still you? Okay.
Yes.
I think you need to start making mean comments on the episode just for the hell of it.
No, but
Yeah, why not?
Alright,
we will.
so it is the most
Someone
chaotic.
says.
Maybe start throwing
Someone
hits
says she
around.
thinks her phone is an ass, which I assume means assembly in this case. Can't hear anything, but it looks like a good conversation.
Who said that?
Wait, was that Sif?
Because we have a lot of background.
Is it? Yeah, ask him. Is it because of a lot of a background noise, or what can't you
No,
hear?
she can't hear anything, she says.
Adjust the volume on your
hear each
computer.
Oh, has Jeff not been doing audio this whole time?
Actually, we're both working in tandem here.
I was hearing it on the computer.
Yes.
How come you suck at making the audio?
Double check.
We're double checking the audio feeds to the computer to make sure that you fuckers at home can hear this okay.
You fucker. There's only.
Him.
Oh,
You fucker.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, you fucker. It's only one.
Oh, so it's
Oh,
just
that's gonna
you.
earn a mean
It's just
comment,
you
I'm
watching
sure.
yourself on
Well,
the.
no, there are two, and one other than me. I wasn't counting myself here.
Oh yeah, she's over there behind the camera. That's right.
Right.
So,
Are you running into problems there, guy?
I'm still enjoying this though. This is a blast.
nice coffee shot. Cool.
We actually had a real legit comic on the show earlier who got to be here for 5 minutes.
And he told a joke.
Yeah,
He did.
Like for free.
yeah.
So what you need to do is just pick someone from every profession and have them on. They do one thing for free.
We probably should.
Oh, I'm a chef. I can do that.
If you actually give a shit about comedy, go ahead and check out GabeKea.com and give Gabe a shout out and tell him that you heard him on Contextually Yours podcast.
Oh, that's dangerous.
And
I will do that after the show.
what did you do?
How's it going over there, Jeff?
So
Are we actually getting any audio right now?
Did you find out that nothing was happening?
love the Rick and Morty shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I played Total Recall last night, the card game. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, he has that game and has never let me play it because he says it sucks.
He's a dick and he's wrong. It's great fun.
Hey, Jeff.
You have to play with people who are fun. So, because you have to sort of work together.
Pretty sure that our audio just
Yeah,
went
it's
out online.
collective. Yeah, it's collective game. Like you can't. Like you either all win or you all lose.
Actually,
right?
so I've been ordering Chinese Legos like a motherfucker.
Chinese Lego.
Chinese knockoff Lego figures. Yeah, I've got like 400 of them. Anyway,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I have Rick and Morty Lego figures. I just got by Mr. Me6 today. I ordered 5 of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at me. Oh man, that
Existence.
last episode.
Figure it out.
Anyone?
All right.
Oh,
Oh, all right. He's doing the Matthew McConaughey impression. Badly.
are we actually online now? Party in the background?
Yeah, no one's listening. For sure.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's not true. I'm watching.
Hey, we got one
You
viewer.
got Jason tried this also?
Jason's not going to drink that.
Why not?
No one can hear this
Jason doesn't
because
drink.
of the background audio.
I'm scary without
Everybody
it. It's
talking in the
fine.
background. But
I have no inhibitions
I'm
anymore.
trying to speak into the mic.
You know, I believe that.
yeah, which is
not
it's really
working.
weird because
Yes.
Can we tell everyone to go outside?
I fucked up.
We added a person.
So you haven't had any audio.
I haven't had any audio.
So, ladies and
just now.
so what you just
now.
what?
We've had
What, a solid half hour of us just sitting here?
Yeah,
with
and we even
no
had
audio?
Gabe Kea on, and we have no audio for Gabe.
Were you
But
making
we'll
a
be
hard record
we'll
copy
be
of
posting
this?
it.
Okay.
We'll be reposting it with actual audio.
Yeah. So once again, if
So
you're
anyone
actually
who's listening,
So if you're
that-
listening to
that
this
is
after tonight,
actually able to
go
hear
see
us
Gabe
with all this
Kea
background
at the Blue
sound,
Room.
then go see Gabe at the Blue Room.
that's right. So tonight in Springfield,
He is
Missouri,
fucking hilarious.
Gabe Kea at the Blue Room,
Playing a
which
show
is-
in 10 minutes,
inside-
and then another show at 10 o'clock.
which is inside billiards. If you go into billiards, go inside, go to the right, you'll find a door. Inside that door is the Blue Room.
Hey
Go in
guys,
there
we
and
haven't
watch
been
Gabe.
recording all night.
Oh no, we got the audio up.
Oh, the audio.
We're recording.
I love your
We
description.
weren't live
there.
with the audio. I'm sorry.
You
Yeah.
drive
Audio was
downtown,
live.
turn to the left, go in a building, open a door, go to the left.
You do have to take a U-turn. It's kind of a weird setting.
Are we still live?
So yeah,
The door has a knob, turn the knob.
No, yeah, you can head out that
Exactly
way. That's
3
yeah.
times.
Stop turning
We
the
can-
knob when you
Or-
feel pressure.
people
Yeah.
will need to walk past you.
Well, that's not gonna
You may
happen.
feel a
We
slight,
need to move the
slight
table.
tingle.
We do?
Yeah, we can move the table.
Okay.
Fuck it, nobody's watching
Yeah.
this shit anyway.
Yeah, fuck them.
Hey, we have one viewer.
We have one viewer.
We're moving the table cockeyed.
Trying to be professional and serious about it.
We're gonna.
Honestly, more people
Yeah.
would probably watch if it was a mess.
Good point, but probably not. It's not what I would want to watch.
Guys,
That's
people enjoy
definitely
it when shit's weird.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's definitely good. We'll just leave it like
Okay,
this.
so motherfuckers can just y'all can walk back here. Are you just gonna
Everyone close their eyes.
just gonna go take a shit while you're on the show?
Yes, right in the dryer. The dryer's okay, right? You said the washer was off limits, but the dryer is.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody just went the opposite direction of the whole reason as to why we moved this table. Anyway,
Yes, it's fine.
fuck your table. You
That sounds extremely uncomfortable
It's always like
for me and the table
in the way.
and other diners
Maybe. Ooh, yeah. Don't do that in a restaurant.
and wait staff.
Yeah.
And wait staff.
Hey, do you guys have that buffalo grilled cheese like every day, or is it
No, that is simply a
fuck are you talking
special occasionally. I work at Farmer's Gastropub.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Fucking
Farm to table. better than that other farmer place.
Can you get us?
I will not mention my name.
Can you get us?
I work there, and it is.
Can you get us good Irish sausages?
Seems like they are.
Yes, I can give you a banger in the mouth if you will.
Well, actually, we need bangers for.
I was the one that gave him bangers last time.
Yep.
Those worked out pretty good.
If you enjoyed those,
Yeah.
They were good.
we have a bacon bratwurst now. That's fantastic. If you want some of that,
That's dope.
I love bratwurst.
or just good old bangers if you want.
So we have a watcher now. Everyone say hi to Alton.
Hi, Alton.
What's up, Alton?
Hello.
Thank you very much for watching
Thanks
the show.
for watching a fucking train wreck. I mean, the Contextually Yours podcast.
No. Train wrecks really have a lot of things going on.
Train wreck was apparently the King's
People actually try to watch.
Right, exactly. I will slow down for a train wreck.
Yeah. Okay, here's an interesting thing. Earlier today on CMG, because...
what is CMG? I am that out of the loop.
CMG is a group on Facebook that is for chaos magicians. Anyway, in this particular group, it was brought up... fuck off, all of you.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You say that. It's like it's for chaos magicians.
That was too matter of fact. I'm sorry. What is a chaos magician? Is the question I have.
Those are two random words. To
Actually,
us.
that will be a completely different podcast that I'm working on.
Is that a D&D reference?
Not even in the least.
For the uninitiated,
Is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
It's basically the occult, esotericism, that kind of shit. But a specific practice of it that allows you to kind of make your own rules.
Yeah.
All right. That's good enough. No, that's enough
the chaos.
of a base.
Okay.
So somebody had posted how the male species, like as a whole, is completely asinine as to go through the motions to basically they have to prove how not gay they are. Like to
They don't have to.
Well, exactly. Like my argument to this was like a lot of that really does based on culture and on like geographical location and the geographical, the culture of the geography of where you live.
Yeah.
Like and
So what you're talking about is the oft misunderstood and oft maligned inappropriately toxic masculinity. A phrase that people hate hearing because they think it means something bad.
Yes, exactly, and I mean, and I think that's a double-edged sword too, because people also think that exerting your masculinity is somehow a negative, and that they're automatically cut down because they show that they're masculine.
Right. The difference, toxic masculinity is when the way you express your masculinity is essentially something that is detrimental to yourself and others.
Exactly.
The proving you're not gay is generally toxic masculinity.
Exactly. Right.
Because the best way to prove you're not gay is to not walk around sucking dick.
Right.
I think it's the only way.
I mean, really, it's a low bar to meet. I will tell you, I fail at that all the time.
I think I'd probably make more jokes about sucking dick than if I was actually gay.
It's less of a joke.
Because then it would have that it'd have that tension to it.
I mean, we all joke about how bad McDonald's food is, but if you work there, you just kind of accept it's just food.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to Taco Bell. Nobody thinks that's food.
Right.
No, not at all. Hey.
We eat Taco Bell and we never get diarrhea. I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
I mean, no, I don't get it.
I don't know if that's the thing.
People also talk about how cheese stops you up, and I'm like, I eat a lot of cheese, and I assure you that is not a problem.
Yeah, but you probably also eat actual fiber, though. Because if you eat 90%
all cheese,
yeah.
I think the show just got hijacked.
Cream cheese with some.
I just don't get it.
This is
People
why
say that like that's a thing, and I'm
I
like,
spend a lot of time outside.
Well, there might be other problems that they don't know about. And
Something about a train wreck. What?
Cheese hurts.
Yeah. Train wreck! More
this went scatological very quickly.
How are you going for another one?
I'll take a shot.
Oh God.
So you were chaos magicking. I'm sorry, was that the end of that metaphor?
I still want to hear more about this chaos magic. Magician. Sorry, chaos magician.
A lot of things are wrong.
I mean, doesn't it really sound like fan fiction LARPing?
No, it sounds cool.
It's okay. Like there are no rules. You make it up as we go.
Yeah.
But in real life,
kinda. It's basically no holds barred religion where you can adopt, change, adapt any principles, belief systems that you want and suit them to your needs.
That makes a lot more sense than most religions.
I don't think it was chaos magic. That's just choice.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
so that's actually at the heart of what it is.
I'll say this though, that like I feel this way about atheism, which I mean I'm personally an atheist because I don't believe in a sentient higher power. I just don't. It's not that I want to or just not want to. I just don't. I can't fake it. But I don't get people who are hardcore angry atheists about standing up for what they don't believe in.
I think that's often people that are either really new at being atheists or they're very
they do, yeah, it's the bitterness and things.
Yeah.
And,
the other thing,
it's just weird. I mean, I get standing up against oppression. That's different.
Oh, yeah.
The ACLU, great. But when you're kind of a dick about it.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is like when there is, so absence of proof, you could basically kind of make the argument for any absence of proof means that something is not true. But there's kind of a philosophical argument that, things may exist outside of our understanding, all that kind of shit.
Sit down?
That,
yes, get on the mic. Introduce yourself.
Agnosticism.
This is a rotating carousel of characters tonight, apparently.
So I have other words, but
put your hands up. They're singing your song.
Cavalcade.
The butterflies fly away.
Cacophonous characters.
Taylor, what?
What?
So anyway, but yeah, what I was saying was like if you have like it's really nuanced, but it's basically like the idea that there's a belief in nothing. Like there's like there's belief to an extent because there's agnosticism where you just don't know
or don't care.
Atheism where like and not all atheism. I've been schooled on that already, but like where it's like, well, absence of proof is like for sure this doesn't exist. Well, you're still kind of jumping to this doesn't exist. And the thing that bothers me is when people are like, oh, well, we're not supposed to believe, or we're supposed to believe that there could be a, higher Santa Claus, or there could be a whatever. And they point out all these things that are like specific to these religions. And I'm like, well, that's not really the point. Like, the point is that there could be this higher power that, it's possible it could exist. So to write it off completely is a form of belief. Like,
so, but it's not. In fact, that's exactly what it is. So not believing in something does not mean you believe in something. So
the absence of belief, though, I think is agnosticism.
No, that would actually be... So atheism essentially means you personally... So I'm an agnostic in the sense that I'm an atheist personally. I don't believe there's a higher power, not because I choose that. I just don't. Proof. Yeah. I just don't. I don't have that inside me. I don't have that faith in me to say, okay, yes, I believe it. I just don't. It's not a choice. But somebody else who does believe it, I absolutely value their opinion. I don't share it, but I value it, and I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. And that's sort of the agnostic point of view. That I could be wrong.
Because everyone has their own beliefs.
I have no proof that I am right. Well, therefore, I accept that other beliefs are exactly as valid as my lack of belief.
The concept of belief overcoming our everyday life is becoming more and more, scary as time goes on.
Yeah, but the other thing
people who want to force their beliefs on other people.
But the other thing you have to think about is like you go into a movie, right? And especially if it's a good movie.
So not the Kingsman.
Not that piece of shit.
No spoilers,
but if you go into a movie, you suspend disbelief because otherwise you'd be watching the movie the whole time being like,
what the fuck is this? He
like,
can't have a see-through umbrella.
You are correct. I could not believe how bad that movie was.
Right.
But I do that.
But you could, you would be paying attention to every camera angle, how the actor's doing, whatever, but you get immersed in it, right? Like if it's a good movie, you get immersed in it. And you don't pay attention to the meta
Are you saying
concept.
like religion is a good movie? Is that what you're?
Actually, yes, I would absolutely accept that, because most people of most religions don't believe everything in the package. Like they don't order the deluxe version.
There's
they
many
believe the core tenets, they accept the rest as metaphor. Part
of why I definitely got out of the church when I was younger was some of the crazy shit that's in the Bible, and that they just kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to look at that part of it. Just look at the parts we tell you to look at.
Yeah, what is it?
We find a lesson and we say, hey, just look at this little part of the Bible.
If a woman works while she's on her period, you're supposed to stone her to death.
Oh my God, yes. Like Exodus chapter 21.
We're not. Oh, that was terrifying.
That is one of the worst chapters of the Bible.
Terrifying. But nobody really wants that. So that gets set aside. And there's nothing wrong with that. But
Now the other thing, though, is that's a very effective practice for alcoholics overcoming alcoholism, right? Like,
well, the 12 steps is kind of like I'll admit my dad has been in recovery for years now, and that really did help him. But he was also not a devout Christian ever or anything like that. But 12 steps
you have
is
like
a form of religion.
The 12-step program, and then like one of the tenets of the practice is like, hey, if there's something you don't agree with here, don't worry about it. Just stick to the good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just stick to whatever is getting you better, and that, and so you could like, you make different.
Your metaphor is good when you talk about a movie. Is that a good movie? You don't notice each edit, each musical cue, every line, every sound of breathing. You don't notice how the movie gets put together.
My favorite movies are the ones that are like, oh, if I wanted to, I could pick this apart, but I'm just enjoying this.
Right, you're just enjoying it. So, and in a sense, that's what I'm saying, that you can look at religion in the same way that most people practice it that way. They take the journey of it, but then all the fire points, they don't ignore them. They just sort of go along with the rest. They don't pick it apart. Because if you pick it apart, it's like picking apart a movie. You lose track of the theme.
Turns out being not as good as what you signed up for. And
so my point is, like, regardless of the religion, the culture is the problem. Like, you have any religious text is going to have some fucking shady, fucked up shit in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have, people that practice around that, and some are peaceful and some are fucking insane, and like,
but not Christians according to our country.
So you like,
they're
the
all
things
great.
You pick and choose are kind of like dependent upon, and that could go for anybody. Like, that could go for anything.
I mean, it goes for the way you absorb news, the way you watch TV, the way you read books. I mean, it's just how humans are. We intake subconsciously what we want to hear, not always what we need to hear.
But the U.S. is much more religious.
Oh my God, yes.
Other parts of the world are more.
I might have to repeat what she's saying.
Faithful as opposed to religious.
Can you come over here and repeat that?
That was a very good point you made, because well, and actually, in a sense, it goes along with the United States is much more, and forgive this word, patriotic than other places, in the sense that we are the country that salutes our flag and hand over the heart and reads the text, and
NASCAR.
Nationalism, and
it's very similar to religion.
And in a way, and I think it's because in a way we are, as the world goes, a fairly new country. We were an artificial construct of a country that didn't exist before incorporating.
Said, fuck y'all, we're America.
Fuck y'all, we're America.
Fuck your tea.
So
we're done.
In that sense, yeah, I mean, it sort of goes hand in hand with the American spirit that we are a declarative people, for better or for worse. I mean, that can be a positive trait, and it can be
why we're in a dick measuring contest with North Korea right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
There was just a fly. He just did a flyover just outside of North Korea today, just for the fuck of it.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest here. Dick measuring contest North Korea is not going to work out well. They don't have a wide genetic stock.
It's going to come down to
generally don't.
It's going to come down to millimeters.
Well, yes. I think of North Korea.
That is true.
We know that we would win.
We do have a wide variety, but if we get to pick, if we pick a random sampling,
I think we're good.
Yeah, if we pick a random sampling to an average, I think we're okay.
I think of North Korea as like a homeless guy on the street with a knife, and he's like telling you he's gonna stab you, and like
he's
you
no
could just
less
like
likely to
kind of
stab
walk
you.
around him
He's
and like
crazy.
leave him alone.
But he only has that knife because he
And-
wants you to leave him alone and let him sleep on the street.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want you coming over and kicking him off the street.
But we gotta admit, he says some crazy shit, right? Like
He does,
like
yeah.
screams at people, and you're like, okay,
And he
leave
does
that guy
steal
alone.
condiments from all the restaurants, you know.
Fucking leave that dude alone. And then we have.
Is that a racist? Is that a stereotype? I don't know.
I mean, you know, North Korea's the homeless guy
Well, yeah,
that wants
I mean-
lemonade, so he steals the lemon packets and the sugar packets.
Don't worry. Anyway,
Well, let's
we talk
into their
about
store,
this,
then.
people are
That's
gonna
not-
be pissed.
that's
It
not
doesn't- It doesn't matter. But
Let's go. What?
and now we have a president who likes to kick homeless people, so it doesn't really work out.
Okay,
very
first of
well.
all, Trump is not nearly spry enough to kick a homeless person.
They'll hit him with
he
the
has
golf
other-
ball, maybe?
He pays other people to kick for him.
Yeah, that's.
And he doesn't really pay them.
They're the best people I hear.
He tells him he's going to pay them, but he doesn't.
Right, he promises
They're
to
the
pay
best
them
at
and waits
kicking
for
the
them to
homeless.
sue.
I assure you, they're the best at kicking the homeless.
Give that a 5 out
Gonna
of
kick
10.
all the homeless, especially the Mexican homeless,
Until they want to be paid, and then they were the worst at it. Sad.
Yeah.
except for the ones that work at Trump Tower. Thank you.
Is it does it matter that like you can like he's probably the easiest president to impersonate?
You don't even have to impersonate him.
I think Bush was easy.
W.
You just squint your eyes and you just, you know.
I mean, in a way, yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you.
I mean, well, the thing
You're not gonna
is, he's
fool me
like
again.
That's not bad.
predictable.
Thank you.
That's pretty good for a chubby chef.
Thank you, sir. I prefer husky.
Okay, that's pretty good for a chubby husky.
Oh, at some point, I want to get Isaac, if he's willing, to get on one of these mics, and we can talk about how fucked up high school was.
Like in general or specifically? Because it's fucking
Specifically, yeah. Well, in general, yes, everybody knows that.
Well, how I left California and then came back to New York and stolen my life.
Do we got some high school drama?
Yeah, it's high school
Kind
drama.
of, but not the kind of
Some festering
like,
high school
Is this
drama
going to
after
turn into
15 years?
therapy?
The shit you.
It might.
Yeah.
Leave the past in the past.
I mean,
The past will say the past. We've already overcome it.
Oh.
We're still friends now. So.
Ooh.
The chubby husky needs a cigarette. I'm
Drama.
going to step on. Anybody else want to get on?
I'm not.
Yeah, and the only other thing I was going to talk about is semantics and dictionary definition terms, and the idea of like somebody being like, I don't know what you're talking about when they use like something colloquial.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like it. This never comes up in an actual conversation, but the idea of like the word literally and how everybody uses it wrong.
that comes up into conversations I have a lot.
Well, yeah, but what I mean is like
Literally.
But when somebody tells you and they say, yeah, literally, blah, 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 and you're like, you know,
And they,
you may say, what do you mean by that? Or you may say it didn't literally happen, whatever. You may call them out on it. But if you're like pretending to not know what they're saying because they use a word wrong, it's kind of a really dick move.
That is a dick move.
Like,
I find myself doing that all the
it's
time.
a super dick move.
Dick move.
I'm a intellect dick move all the time. If I could possibly use a word and it be colloquial, but yet in my head I know what it really means, then I become really condescending, and I love that part about my character. Other people might not.
I mean, I can be condescending to people, and that that means I talk down to them.
Yeah.
But I try not to be.
Well, I try to be, which is, I mean, I know it's bad of me.
Because I'm an asshole.
Well, yeah. I'm an asshole, and
I only talk down to dumbasses, okay?
Yeah, but they're
Not any of you guys.
If they're that stupid, you're not really talking down to them. It's just like crouching down to talk to a child.
It's like...
well, I didn't even talk to my daughter that way, and my daughter was like, 3 years old now. I didn't have to be condescending to her. But I mean, my daughter understood things in a reasonable way. But here I am hanging out with people in Springfield here, and they don't even know as much as my 3-year-old daughter. So I'm like, well, okay, so I'll break it down one time, bring it down to their level, then I'll break it down another time, and how many times do you have to break it down before it's unacceptable?
Depends on whether or not this is a hip-hop song.
I know nothing about hip hop.
Other than Sage Francis, I got you into Sage Francis.
Yeah, she did. Sage Francis was awesome.
Which, by the way, Gabe Kea tonight at the Blue Room. He's also a Sage Francis fan.
Gabe Kea?
And his brother Hyundai.
I am not a Sage Francis fan, but I am a Scribius Pip fan.
Oh, okay, well, that's close.
And I mean, they do stuff together a lot, so.
Yeah, mainly, well, Jeff's gone at the moment.
We're prolific.
He's gone even when he's here.
Oh, wait.
I know.
So, the one dude.
What one dude?
The guy you introduced me to.
Griffin.
Calling people out on their bullshit in that one video.
You want to spot back?
Calling people out on their bullshit in that one video.
Yeah, it was it's just like one word.
Do you have any more descriptions of this?
Hobson. Oh yeah, Hobson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the white rapper that he's black.
The one with all the popularity.
You say he's a white rapper, he's a black?
He's a black guy, but he's a white rapper.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I mean, if you listen to any of Hobson's lyrics, he appears to be a upstanding white person. In his lyrics.
God! Don't get into this shit.
Well, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's
kind of like how check out my house and my fat paint job.
He doesn't talk about any of that. As a matter of fact, he talks about how black people are stupid and how rap music is tired.
That sounds bad.
Sort of like how Hootie from Hootie the Wolf is now country.
Actually.
Yeah.
That's not how
He's just following the money.
Right. Well, Hobson was under.
Well, wait. What about Saul Williams? Saul Williams is black as fuck.
Saul Williams is shit.
Saul Williams is amazing. And he criticizes mainstream hip hop.
Yeah, that's like a weird.
That's like
It means you're black, but then you're more black than you would be if he just said black.
Like Don Cheadle?
Like Don Cheadle, yes, exactly. He's blacker than black. It's like 50 Shades of Grey.
Hey, four white guys on a podcast.
Like if we
send
all
hate mail to Contextually Yours podcast.
Like if we all said orange as fuck, we'd know who you were talking about.
Orange as fuck.
Move back. Back it up.
Like that old white guy is orange as fuck. We all know who that would be.
Move away from the mic. Little bit back.
The main qualifier for that is he isn't white. He's orange.
You can hear yourself.
I know, but I don't want to mess my hair up. And I'm not joking. No, but like this thing will move around.
Well, that would be back. You'd be back behind it anyway.
It doesn't work.
I like the Cupid doll look. It's good on you. I do like that look, actually, generally. But.
Well, I'm just saying, what did you want to talk about high school?
Give me!
Besides all of our dead
I don't know, one of the craziest fucking stories we have.
Well, how about when I met you? I mean, you didn't really meet me, but I met you.
Met your dad.
When you woke up in your car and I had stolen it while you were in it and drove it all the way to Marionville?
We were at this, we were at a bonfire that was 2 stories tall. The fucking bonfire was insane. I've never seen a bigger fire in my life.
Other than
in this
45.
In this cow pasture, what? Not cow pasture. It was in this fucking hippie's house.
Yeah.
They were building a house in the woods. Didn't have electricity or plumbing
Yosh.
to it yet.
That was Yosh.
Yeah, Yosh. And we drove through 3 cow pastures and over 2 creeks to get to it.
Yeah.
And then they had all this like wood and lumber.
So Jeff here, he gets intoxicated.
Oh, I got fucking wasted.
At that point in time, I could handle my liquor way better because I started at a way earlier age, like 5. And
Isaac's been fucked up for a long time.
You guys are just making me sad with this reminiscence.
No, this is funny though. This is a good story. So I convinced him while he was drunk to let me drive his car all the way to see my real dad.
Which I don't actually. I think when I woke up, you convinced me of that. Maybe.
No, I already convinced you while you were drunk.
Well, whatever. Anyway, either way, there's a fucking awesome drum circle around this huge fire.
Yeah,
that was badass.
We had a good time.
And then Isaac's like, "Hey, how about we go to Marionville?" And I'm like, "All right, fuck it, let's go."
Yeah.
And this is in what, Preston? at the time.
Yeah,
so
well, it's cross timbers, Preston area. It's
like
out in the
north
middle
of
nowhere.
here, like an hour.
Out
Where
in
the fuck
nowhere.
is? Where the
It's
fuck is
Gatesville,
Marysville?
actually. Gatesville, which is
Where's Marysville? How far?
Marysville is but
Marysville is if you go down 60 west, it's southwest of here a little.
it's
bit.
like 45 minutes west on 60.
Yeah. Anyways,
Where the ground open.
Home of the white squirrels, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
home of the white
that's right. I have a
squirrels.
shirt. This is what is a
Where,
white squirrel saying.
where the earth opens and you
Yeah, this is what I
descend
told you when you woke
into-
up. Is that the earth opens up and you dive into this hole, and you end up in Marionville. And it turned out
Where
he'd
everyone
never
is
been to
solid.
Marionville, and so we get there, and my father, being the crazy person that he was talking to his marijuana at the time, as if they were real people.
First, we went around town. I was just passed out.
Yeah,
and you let me sleep in the car while you went to like 5 different houses.
Well, one lady tried to commit suicide. There was blood everywhere. I didn't want to wake you up. Another place probably wasn't the best for you.
That didn't actually happen.
It happened, but you didn't.
And then,
but no, we
ended up at your dad's house.
Yeah, my dad came out.
And he had a bag of buds, and he was pointing at like the little stems of each bud, like as if they were written on, and was saying what strain they were.
Yeah, and
so that was fun. And then he was growing pot in his yard in the middle of town.
Well, that was just acceptable then.
Which was like crazy. There would be like a bush, and then like a sprout of a pot plant right behind this bush that was growing in the middle of fucking town.
Well, that was how we did it in Marionville. I mean, really, they were more worried about the dog getting off his chain than they were several marijuana plants in the background. DFS came over and they were excited about the marijuana plants because they wanted a part of it too. That's how corrupt that town was at that time. Since then, there's been lots of restructuring of their government, and they're no longer ran by white supremacists. So, but now.
Wait, is that because of the white squirrels?
The white squirrels. Yeah, I don't know which came first, chicken or the
like
egg. The white squirrels or the white supremacists. I don't know. I just know that the slogan for Marionville is "Even the squirrels are white," which. Yeah, and they're not albino, by the way. They're actual white squirrels.
So they don't have the pink eyes?
No, they were brought over from Switzerland.
If it's not albino, fuck it.
But
Don't
no,
fuck the birds.
they were brought over by a Swedish scientist trying to do a genetic study, which he wasn't allowed to do in Europe, so he brought them over. That would be why they're white squirrels. Also, an interesting fact about Marionville, the white squirrels, if a squirrel has white squirrels in its brood, in its nest, if there's more white ones than there are gray ones, it will kill the gray ones and keep the white ones. If there's more gray ones than there is white ones, it will kill the white ones and keep the gray ones.
What?
That's just part of the genetic study. I don't know. I was just there.
It's the circle of life.
Yes, only with genetic people involved. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's good for the squirrel kids because they don't have to compete over who's better.
Yeah.
You know.
I see the
Hey, we're squirrel inclusive, okay?
Right.
I'm just realizing how good of a mic that is.
That's a really good mic.
Yeah.
Well, it helps to have a good voice.
I almost said squirrel lives matter, but that was going to be weird.
Well, yeah.
No,
not all
Yeah.
Not all squirrel lives matter. If you have a pellet gun, you really quickly figure out that squirrels' lives don't matter.
That last episode of Rick and Morty.
I've been thinking about this whole story, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, don't fuck with the squirrels.
Don't
fuck with squirrels.
No.
By the way,
No spoilers. No spoilers. Just don't
But
fuck with
also,
squirrels.
my dad happened to show him a frozen white squirrel in the freezer that day, and it was kind of awkward for everybody. But I think he figured out that my dad was all about the white squirrels with the frozen one in his.
Your dad's crazy, but I'm gonna call you out and say I did not see that.
Maybe that was Rogers that saw that part.
Hey, bro, you want to see my frozen white squirrel?
No, bro. It's not like I wouldn't want to lick.
I wonder if Justin Rogers is watching.
It's really big.
That's really big. I hope it has a fluffy tail.
Justin Rogers, a.k.a. Keelan.
Yeah.
It is really disturbing that there are places where that is a pickup line.
And it's not too far from here, apparently.
Yeah, those places are not far from here.
We can figure out how to do that. Stop over
I spun this
No.
Yeah, I can't see the comments. I still can't see the fucking comments.
So, Jeff here.
You see the comments on the live stream right there.
I thought I saw the comments.
I
Yeah,
saw.
right there.
I see some, but it's not the ones that.
Those are the comments I see.
Maybe see one of the others. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, all the things I was gonna talk about are.
You bring up the topic from high school because
Yeah.
Actually do the road.
Fucking what else? When you met me, when was that? What
what happened was
I don't fucking remember.
there was a party like 3 miles away from my house, and at my buddy's house.
I don't know how we're not both dead.
And what happened was we were going to another buddy's house to go drink about 4 miles away, 5 miles away. And Jeff, my friend here, had a wire hanger in his in the back seat of his car hanging for something. Now
Sounds bad. That sounds bad, but it was only for abortions.
Right, it wasn't for abortions at all. I made it into an airplane, and I was holding out the window because I was drunk. And
you always tell the story. I don't even remember it.
I know, this is the first time we met. This is the scary part. He doesn't remember. But he's driving, and I had this wire hanger that I bit into an airplane. And I'm like, this is an airplane. And then he gets all upset about messing up his wire hanger. And I did not understand why he was upset.
You didn't ask.
Because I didn't
I'm sure that's what happened.
The biggest part of it.
I got
later on.
Where I got mad, probably because you didn't ask.
I was drunk.
And I would have probably said yes.
Yeah, but anyway, other than that,
that's a thing I do.
Yeah, he has this thing.
I too like permission before people vandalize my property, so you know.
A wire hanger, though, is that property?
I mean, it was there for a purpose, was it not? I mean, you know. I don't
In
know.
my drunken state, it was a piece of art.
I can see both sides of this argument. I'm just saying that, you know, I would probably lean toward the upset side, you know.
Well, I'm not mad at him for it. I just didn't get it at the time.
So, were you using this for reception or something?
In the car?
No, he
it was just in there.
It was just in there?
Yeah.
Like everything in your car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a boy?
I'm just kind of anal sometimes.
Yeah.
With the wire hanger? That sounds dangerous.
He is anal with the wire hanger. That is.
It's only dangerous if you take it too far.
No. Tearing your colon is never a good idea.
I'm not sure if he's calling that porn, but he was butthurt at the end of it.
So that's how you met? You stole his hanger from his car?
I was in the car.
Yeah.
But how'd you get in his car if you hadn't met? Like, did you say, hi, my name is so-and-so, I need a ride to this party?
You don't have to know people to get in their car.
I mean...
Usually I don't know.
Have you never got in the wrong car in a parking lot before? Because it's really embarrassing.
Right?
No, never.
Really? It's not pleasant.
It's usually my car that I'm getting in.
I have gotten in. And then I look over like, fuck, I'm in the wrong car.
I generally pay attention, though, to my surroundings. Steve has not. She's got
One time I almost got in a car, and then I looked at the rack on top, and they had like
of the driver.
Pure black, she's got.
That would probably make a more
That
interesting
distracted
story.
you, yes. Sorry.
He's always looking at
No,
racks.
I almost got in the car, and then I looked at the top, and they had like a makeshift fucking like rack system on top of their car to haul shit. And I was like, oh, I need to do that. And it was revelatory. That's all I have.
That's a pretty big object to be on top of a car and not notice.
Yeah.
Your dog just sexually assaulted me.
It's hard.
He loves that. He loves to sexually assault people.
It's actually been a training process.
Yeah.
By the way, Isaac helped us get Dublin to bark because I had him for 2 months and he did not make a peep.
That's how you need it.
But he was nervous. He was like, he was not a happy dog.
So I pretended to be a dog.
So we were trying to get him to speak because we thought, I thought, if he can vocalize, he'll probably feel better. You know, like he's kind of like if I tell him no, he freaks out, whatever. You know, so he might have been abused. I don't know. I got him from the rescue, and I thought, okay, well, if we can get him to vocalize, he'll probably be a lot happier. And there's been like multiple. It was like 2 times before that I tried to like just bark myself and try to get him to bark. And then one night it's him. Who else was here? There's like 2 other people here, right? It was Griffin, I think, right?
I don't know.
Was it Griffin? I don't know. There's 2 other people here, and we're just like, he is on hands and knees.
Barking.
Yeah.
Because
and it took like an hour, and we finally got him to bark.
Yeah, I had to bark
for an hour
on my hands and knees. Yeah, it was.
Normally the rate for that is somewhere around $60 an hour to get a guy to do that.
Well, I know that.
And you did that for free? Wow.
As my friend, I gave it to him complimentary,
and you could get a boner like so easily doing that.
Yeah, and
he's barking.
Maybe you could, but
the dog finally barked.
I need more. Yeah, I got a high bar for that.
Barking's not enough.
I mean, no, not generally.
I was putting my whole heart into it, and
I mean, the whole costume might help. But.
Well, I didn't have a costume, but
I'm thinking of like Southern California.
How is the audio quality, everybody? Because there's people talking in the background.
My best friend lived on the
This is what?
Like I spent a lot of time on.
It's almost like if you invite people to a party, they're gonna make a lot of noise.
Well, that's why I put in the description that it's a podcast and to go outside. If you're gonna
I don't think any of us read that description.
I'll be honest with you. Anybody want to come over and shut the fuck up is really not the warmest of invitations.
Yeah, that is an odd invitation.
And I get it, but
I mean, I could shut the fuck up at home.
Exactly.
And I didn't have to put pants on to do it.
You don't need pants on here, but I'm just saying.
Well, with this dog around, I think I do.
That is probably a good point. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
you gotta have peanut butter and no pants.
He knows from experience.
Not close enough to San Francisco.
Do you have peanut butter in the house?
Not anymore.
I would say, did you run out?
Yeah, he did. He did.
I mean, still.
Forgot to put that on invitations.
I'm trying to think of the other.
Yeah, I don't know what you're. This is killing me because I'm waiting for this next thing.
We're trying to transition.
What was your want to talk about shit?
Like middle.
I already talked about it. Or Jenny. Jason.
I'm a big fan of.
How comes American white dudes need to prove that they're not homo?
Oh, right.
I'm gonna go with the
I have never been.
I don't know, like conservative types are the people that need to do that.
Yeah, I mentioned before when you didn't have sound turned on.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out again because it's kind of fun to give you shit about it.
Yeah.
But
no, we are not. We don't know what we're doing at all. It's okay.
But, so I mentioned toxic masculinity, and essentially that is a form of that, is having to prove yourself to others, which everybody intellectually knows is not required.
I was.
Do you give a shit about what other people think of you? Everyone says no. And then you go out and do stupid shit to prove who you are to them.
Yeah.
And it's a form of that.
Well, it depends on the culture you grew up in, really.
I think to some degree everybody.
No, I think it's pretty widespread in this country, though. Because I've been like harassed for being gay, even though I'm not gay. It's just that you're kind of a new person, and you don't talk too much, and you look nice, so people think you're gay.
I did not think you were gay, by the way.
Well, not now, but before I put on the weight, I'm just.
Wait. You're saying back when you looked fabulous?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay, getting there. I get it now.
By the way.
Oh, and I didn't have sex with a bunch of women because that would prove that I was,
and you're kind of quiet, right?
Exactly.
And that was the kind of thing, like people because I'd be kind of quiet in social situations.
Or even if you're friends with a gay person, they'll try to kick your ass.
No, you say that, but the more outgoing you are, the more they think that you're gay
now maybe, but like when I was growing up, that was the opposite. But see, you were quiet.
I also grew up in the most conservative part of Texas, which is one of the most conservative parts of the country.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That's
so.
I was a mascot for my school, and I went to cheerleading camp.
Wait, you yourself?
I was the mascot. Yes.
But no, what I mean is, did you wear a costume or were you just the mascot?
No, I was the tiger suit.
Okay, got it. That's a little different.
But I got to go to cheerleading camp.
That's Isaac. He's our mascot.
And yeah, it's Isaac, our mascot. I know. I was a tiger, and so I got to go to cheerleading camp, and it was amazing. I was like one of the 2 straight guys at cheerleading camp. Now it cost my parents like $600, and it's amazing because like everybody in the school thought I was gay, which I was fine with that because they were a bunch of hicks and cowpoke, so I didn't care. You know what I mean?
And not to be weird, not to be double stereotype on it, but chicks do love that.
Oh, dude, but I hate that. But I got to go to cheerleading camp. And being straight,
a shout out. He's listening live.
So
what's up, Andy?
What up, Andy? What up? Anyways,
There you go.
So so I go to cheerleading camp, and it was the most mesmerizing thing for a straight kid. You know what I'm saying? Like 15 years old. I mean, all these cheerleaders, and there's a pool, and I am in heaven, but I get back, and all of a sudden now I'm stereotyped as a gay guy because I went to cheerleading camp, but I had a good personal experience, so I had to learn a long time ago. I don't care what they think, but it was an issue at the time growing up. Because
with you, it's like kind of 2 extremes.
That's okay.
I think we have an epidemic of trying to put people into a group.
We
are you Christian? Are you straight? Do you play football? Are you rich? Are you poor? Like everyone has to have this classification.
Yeah, you're just the categorization of people.
You can't just leave people let them be and let them tell you who they are. You have to put them in a group.
What's crazy about that is I see that more kind of I don't know, like the hard left or whatever. I see that more like where everything has to be like classified and everything has to have a term behind it, but it's not negative, but it's like
it's classification. So
it's classification.
So there is one thing that humans do better than any other creature in existence, and I'm including artificial intelligence we've created so far, any type of computer system, and that is we are very, very good at patterns. We see patterns in everything. This evolutionarily helped us immensely. In fact, the reason we stand upright as walkie things is so we could see above the savannah.
Right.
We are good at seeing patterns and things. We see too many of them. That's why we have conspiracy theories. That's why we see every society that's ever existed sees pictures in the stars. And in some cases, we see the same picture no matter what society it became from, which is very strange to think about.
I just see stars when I look up at the stars.
Well, you don't have to. I'm talking about we as a culture. People saw it before you, so you don't need to. Sort of like Louis Pasteur, he already found, So, anyway, so we see patterns, and we're very, very good at that. The downside of that in a society where seeing those patterns is not just a matter of survival, is we wind up seeing patterns that aren't always helpful for us to see. And those include societal patterns. We see other people as other. We see things about them that we assume is true. That's when it turns into stereotypes. Stereotypes aren't inherently bad. That's how we deal with a world where we don't know the other 5.9 billion people out there.
Well, not only that, but like the thing with like racism and like these different like cultures, like if you were in a tribe and some other tribe came to your land, they could bring disease with them that they're somewhat dealt with, and your tribe hasn't, and it will wipe out your entire fucking tribe.
Right.
And so,
and if it happened once, then it becomes a pattern. You see
exactly.
Yeah.
So it happened many times.
And now it's fucking completely irrelevant.
Right.
But we
I do
still-
have to say one more disclaimer to what I said because I stopped at a point that was terrifying.
Right.
Stereotypes are not bad. Okay, there we go. But I gotta also say the problem is if you don't change your mind about a stereotype based on new information you're provided, that is prejudice.
Yes.
That's where it becomes bigotry and prejudice. That is inherently wrong.
Right.
Yes. And that's the thing is if you've already been categorized, a lot of people will stop right there and they've categorized you, put you in a file, and close that.
Gay boy
that
cheerleader.
What?
Gay male cheerleader. I would assume if you were a male cheerleader, you were probably gay. You know why? Because 99% of the male cheerleaders I've ever met were gay. I have good basis for guessing that to be true.
And you do, but I am not.
But you are not. You say you're not, and I have no reason to disbelieve you. Therefore, I don't say, well, no, you're wrong, because everyone else is.
Well, yeah.
That would be prejudice as opposed to...
And your open mind is very, very necessary.
Right. I mean,
I had the open mind. My thing was, as I had a crush on a cheerleader, and I really wanted to be around her all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I followed whatever path that took to get near that cheerleader.
See, and just think of all the dumb macho
Which
guys.
is basically the
who look
story
at
of Isaac's entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but think of all the dumb macho guys who would, oh no, I'd never be a damn cheerleader.
Well, I thought
But never get to see the girls. You went to camp with them and got to swim with them and swim around.
Yeah. And fornicate. But, it was impressive.
Let's not drag the Bible into this.
Okay, I'm not reading the Bible into it.
I don't understand that in the biblical sense.
So,
really?
Were you gay with these women?
I was like,
I felt like that mechanism was subverted in the 90s, like as far as like the gay trans movements that were happening then. And now it's kind of like, well, everybody's on their computers, everybody's social media, everyone has to it's a more there's more ones and zeros. There's more of a
there's a
rigid.
There's a continuum, but within each the thing is each subgroup wants to carve out its own identity. So while the larger society may not care about the 10,000 possible identities, because we don't. At a personal level, we may about the individual, but as a group, it's like we don't care. Like, go for it. Be whatever you want to be. I just don't need that description. Sort of how society looks at it.
Yeah, and I think that's a majority.
But on the individual, you want to be who you are. And so they label ourselves, we group together.
Well, I refuse to label myself. I've been an independent person my whole life. Labeling me would probably be a wrong thing to do. I can't even label myself.
Yeah, but what labels would you choose? That's the other
I would
side.
choose no labels. I'm independent in every thought I have.
Do you have labels that could apply, though? We're going
to call him a free spirit over here.
You are a Midwestern white guy, a heterosexual white guy. That doesn't mean you don't have any that apply.
Well, no, I have a few, but I'm not a bigot. In my culture behind me and above me and below me and my family, they're bigots. They're more than that. But I have risen above most of that to become the person I am now.
But have you? I think there's something to be said for people want to be classified more politically now than anything else.
I don't.
And
I never did.
I don't either.
I never did, but then I had to associate myself with a party that I would assume is better than the others.
Yeah, and then you have to say the
lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
So so that leads to a conversation.
You and I are probably on a similar page where we're like, okay, well, we wouldn't call ourselves libertarian, but we'd probably vote libertarian, kind of thing.
I mean,
because that's what I do.
And you have people calling you they think you're a hardcore liberal when you just didn't want this other guy.
Yeah, you don't have to be liberal to hate Trump.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's my point. Is that I would be more of a moderate.
I am liberal and I hate Trump. But those two things don't happen together.
I think if you have a brain, you have to hate Trump.
Kind of, yeah. Or
unless you're in it for tax purposes.
But even and so a brain or heart, any organs working.
Oh, you want to get off? You want to tag out? I'll tag in.
So, talking about political issues, there's a big issue, and I'm finally starting to see a little bit of talk about it. in Missouri, which is great. We really need this. That is what has really killed a lot of the spirit of people, and it's the way that we vote. We have a winner-take-all system.
Yeah.
And a winner-take-all system, which is called first-past-the-post voting. It's, a majority wins. The problem is that mathematically, they have run every possible scenario. Winner-take-all in a democracy will always lead to a two-party system because third parties will always fail. They will fail, and as a result, and actually they fail in the worst way because they penalize the major party they most resemble, which is exactly how we had Sanders voters,
right?
Or who didn't get to vote for him, but they chose not to vote, or they voted weird. We had Sanders voters.
He does away with student loans. I'm voting for the guy.
Sanders won Green.
I would vote for Sanders in all.
Sanders won Greene County, by the way, so I'm proud of that.
Oh yeah, it was great. We were the only one in South Missouri. I was super happy. Like by a landslide too. It was weird. We were a statistical anomaly, but Sanders took away from Clinton's votes, even at the final election, even though he wasn't a candidate at that point. He took that away, which led to a Trump victory, which means that the party he was closest to, the major person, he hurt, not helped. And that's how third parties always go in a first-past-the-post voting world. What we want is instant runoff voting, and I am actually seeing people who are pushing for this now, which is fantastic. It won't happen because everybody will oppose it that has power for this reason. Because
where it's like
you rank your choices.
Yeah,
you rank your choices. And the thing is that what happens then is let's pretend Sanders is still in the race. Let's pretend Clinton's in the race. And let's pretend Trump's in the race. And let's pretend, I don't know, pick some shitty Republican.
Well, everybody would be in the race, which would be the first major difference.
Right. So everybody would be in the race. There we go. But the issue is that what would happen is that you would count all the votes, and the party that had the least number of votes couldn't win. You would drop them out, and then those people's second choice would get an extra vote counted, and then we drop out the bottom person, and you keep doing this until you have a winner. And what happens there is you are free to vote, for example, Sanders or whatever you want. You're free to vote for your first choice without having to do the settling for your second choice vote that you compromise vote, because that's all we do now is we compromise vote.
And it's a ranking system. I was looking at that and I thought I was like, okay, let me pick this apart and let me try to find the flaws in it. There are no flaws in that plan that aren't already
right. It does not inject any new flaws. It still leaves some existing flaws like gerrymandering.
Hey, Andy.
But it doesn't allow any new flaws.
Good to see you.
And what it would do is it would allow third parties to actually exist and have people vote for them. That cannot happen now.
Also, the way they do districts here is weird as fuck.
Well, gerrymandering,
Yes.
If I get on the mic, I would probably cough.
I think it's. How long are you here?
Just now.
Hello.
No, but I mean, are you staying?
I'm still working, so.
So,
however until I get
if you don't know who this is Steve.
10 minutes.
Also, the way you guys do districts is really weird.
We already know all about gerrymandering.
Well, I mean, I can keep saying it.
But gerrymandering is terrible, and it's unfortunately it's cheating. There's just no way around it. I mean,
especially because only one party got to do it. I mean, at least if both parties got to do it, it would feel more even. But it's literally something that only one party feels is okay to do.
If both parties now historically both parties have, to be fair. Over time, but again, we go back to historically lots of bad shits happen in the world.
Well, also two-party systems tend to bring out the worst in everybody.
Right, and they have to because
straight ticket Republicans.
It's a combative system. It's literally one against another. That is never a very productive fight.
No.
So that was first past the post voting that I was ranting about. And there is an initiative now in Missouri to eliminate this and go back to instant runoff voting. And hopefully it succeeds, because it will eliminate a lot. It doesn't help gerrymandering, unfortunately.
No, that's true. But there is a ruling or a case going through the courts right now about that, which could be, it North Carolina? Somebody's trying a court all the way to
the Supreme
the
Court
High
ruled
Court.
on one recently, just like a couple weeks ago.
And I'm kind of hoping that will actually do a thing.
What do you?
Further over.
Just tell me what you want.
See that black box that's there?
I see the black box.
Yes.
Okay.
3 up.
Yeah, number 3. Check. There we go. That's good. Sup, everybody?
You're not quite loud enough.
Well, what do you mean I'm not quite loud?
I can back this up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about redoing the entire show in these microphones here.
If anyone wants a voice, they can sit here.
So we're talking about gerrymandering. Is that the deal?
We were, yes.
Kind of just generally the state of politics.
Gerrymandering is a word that if you use the word gerrymandering, you already have an opinion on it. It's sort of like saying pro-choice or pro-life. You've already pretty much made your opinion known by which term you choose to use.
True. I think you just need to get the fuck over it. If you lost a fucking election, let's move on. And if the people don't like the fact, actually exercise your right as a fucking free people and get that shithead out of office. Period.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Except that's literally what we're talking about, is how that
you need to change that before you can go to that next step.
Yeah, because they've made it so there are stumbling blocks along the way, all the way, which is so annoying because they shouldn't be there.
We don't believe that we can actually change shit, and we can easily change shit if we actually got off our asses and change shit, but we don't.
So
it's going to remain.
Yeah, until we eliminate gerrymandering.
Yeah.
Nothing's
like the House of Representatives is going to stay Republican until the end of time.
I doubt
it's not mathematically. The problem is, in just the last 20 years, gerrymandering has assured that it is not mathematically possible for Democrats to take the House of Representatives.
Well, then we as a free people need to rise the fuck up, period.
I mean, it would take a massive culture shift that we've never had in the history.
To be fair, though, that is coming because a lot of people are really fucking sick of the shit.
And the culture shift, I think that's bullshit. Like, I think we fake it.
But they're not going to actually do anything about it.
Well, that's because they don't have enough to lose at the moment.
Right. Fear-mongering tends to help conservatives. I mean, why do you think they do it?
It's also the fact that if there is a vote, if there is a town hall, if there is any sort of ability to change, do you really think a lot of these politicians want the general public? I mean, how many people...
All of the Republicans have stopped having them.
Yes.
Right.
Because they're getting talked.
Billy Long hasn't had a town hall in 7 years.
Oh, you mean No Neck McGee?
Yeah.
You know I love him.
I think he tried to go to one, but couldn't make it through the door.
They don't change.
Probably.
They go right back to Washington. They don't care about what their constituents say.
Yeah.
Now it's we're going to avoid it because we don't want we don't want to deal with our
and it looks bad.
And some of that is to blame on the participants just shouting instead of.
I don't disagree with that.
No, I mean
it's
it
a
looks
culture
bad
of
when they
rudeness.
go there and get shouted down.
It doesn't
looks
help.
less bad when they don't go, which is batshit insane to me.
And it's becoming the norm.
Like if you were a politician in Norway and you didn't come to a town hall but you set up, we would probably set you on fire.
That's another interesting point. As we have an outside view here, this is Steve, who is from Norway, and she's basically laying out how American politics suck, and that's true.
She gets to pay taxes and not have any voice, by the way.
I pay so many taxes and I can't even vote for the fucking town hall.
Are you serious?
So Norway, just the other day, I read a great article about the
36 krona for a loaf of bread. Seriously.
So about the retirement
fund. It's not that bad.
Actually, that's about what I pay at Walmart here for a decent loaf of bread, though.
I watched the whole video series.
Not Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread's not bread. It's sugary air.
Yeah, and we don't have
with a frame.
We don't have the bread slicers. Like when you buy the bread and you put it into the machine that cuts the bread. We don't have that. That's not a thing here.
So Norway has invested all their oil money, which is a lot of money, into a retirement fund for their entire culture, every person. And that fund has matured since 1990. to the amount of now being worth $1 trillion.
Well, the National World Health Organization had voted Norway as the most happiest place on earth.
Yes, because they invest in their citizens.
Yes.
Imagine
also,
that.
we get a say in that. I would like to point that out, that we were heavily invested in Winston and some other sort of tobacco giant. We were making a killing on it, and
literally,
most Norwegians were like, yeah, we're not okay with our money being in that. And so they pulled out. And now they're currently pulling out of some of the gun manufacturers. And don't get me wrong, I actually enjoy guns responsibly, but I don't necessarily think it's cool for us to have shit tons of money in companies where we have no say in how they sell their guns.
And it is now an economic powerhouse where they are able to make those decisions. It's not desperate. I mean, that kind of liquid money is amazing.
Yeah, because we have no debt.
Why would you?
Resource plenty. If I recall correctly, I believe in Norway, if you want to own a pistol, you have to be a member of a gun club.
Yes.
And you actually have to be a participating member in said gun club.
Which means that you have to donate part of your time to the gun club. And you have to do a background check.
I mean, I can't walk into
expensive.
I can't walk into Walmart and buy a gun over there.
Yeah.
No, here they just...
which one are you?
Here they just pass about
Which
like
number is he?
Or the furthest one over.
Awesome.
Actually, I'm 4.
It's just that mic is so much more sensitive.
Test.
Did that turn everyone down?
No. That mic is extremely sensitive because it is my mic, and I am not a loud person.
You know what I just realized? Half of what I hear of myself was through that mic.
Yeah. That's actually the mic that I use for movies and stuff.
That would explain why you are incredibly loud.
Yeah, this is the only full shotgun mic, right?
Yes.
Makes sense that he's on it too, though, because he's also not very
This
loud.
one actually sounds pretty good, and we only paid like $20 for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, that looks like a dick, and you know how Griffin is.
Well, to be fair,
I'm ravenous for cock.
He's got a blue cock over there.
I mean, why do you think there's a shield over it? To keep him
really,
from
your
going all the
dick
way.
is like cone-shaped. I don't. You might want to see a doctor.
Oh, this one.
Oh no, I've known that before.
Yeah, it's like a flared big stick.
I mean, so that is like a starter cock where you like want to learn to deep throat, but you just can't take it all at one time. So you sort of go a little at a time till everything works.
All I'm gonna say is
Let's all move to Norway.
well, yes.
We're going back.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
Can't go back.
Actually, I think they're doing free college for
I
anybody that
visited
just
though, so
comes
we're going
now.
back in the sense that I did there.
Sure, why not?
I would move to Bergen in a heartbeat. Not because I have a man crush on Arne Selvik, who lives in Bergen.
He totally does.
I totally do. Like I would.
He would have his babies.
I would have his babies. Like I would have little Wardrun of babies.
Well, like 20% of the country's got to be related to AHA, so there's that.
They actually only have like 4 children combined. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of us don't have a lot of kids either.
Fuck me.
That explains why they're inviting people to come in. That is actually one of those weird things.
Most developed countries.
Yeah, most
with
developed
a good
countries are losing
education
population.
You know.
The U.S. is an anomaly.
Education, we would like to talk to you.
I've got a bachelor's of science. Can I get in?
What?
Maybe. Depends on what kind of science.
Japan, in particular, I think, is one of the
Really?
countries that
Audio
is
engineering.
losing population quite quickly.
Might actually
in
be able
young
to.
people.
There's a burgeoning area of
We just have to be worried about
videos
China and India
happening, like-
and all those little,
Yeah.
third world countries.
I
that have
see your
an
shirt
exploding
and I just want to
population.
sing the DuckTales theme song. Like,
Aren't they remaking that?
What is the
Yeah, they are. It's
DuckTales
out.
theme song?
It's
I've
out.
never
Is it
seen
any
it.
good?
I've watched the first episode,
Is
and
it Donald Duck?
well, yes.
And
in a
the voices, which I thought were going to be really
Okay.
fantastic, are a
Because I
little
did
more
watch
annoying
some
than I
Donald
like.
Duck, like,
I thought they were going to
cartoons when I was a
be
kid.
better.
DuckTales was the most magical,
David Tennant is fine,
like,
of course.
Okay.
Because it's David
show
Tennant.
as a child. Like,
But
that's my
the other
favorite
voices
cartoon
are
ever.
leaning in a little too heavy on the
I will
duck
find you
sound.
some DuckTales.
You know what I always liked more than DuckTales was
What?
that show.
If you say Chippendales Rescue Rangers,
Chippendales Rescue
No,
Rangers.
not Rescue Rangers. It's the one.
Tailspin.
Darkwing Duck?
Tailspin.
Yes!
It's Tailspin.
Tailspin. They took like the Jungle
Spruce-
Book and then made it cool.
Yeah, that one.
Because it was about a pilot. Baloo was a pilot.
Yeah, because that's. I want to know what that pitch meeting was like.
And I do like
What if
Darkwing
Baloo the bear were a pilot? What?
That doesn't even make sense.
I know, like what?
Isn't he a fucking bear?
Yes.
Yes.
He's a.
So why is he flying an airplane?
A flying bear was the part that was the stopper.
Have you seen any children's
like,
cartoons?
The fuck? Have you met a bear?
Oh, honey, I've known quite a lot of bears.
They don't care.
What he said.
I didn't hear that.
I said I've known a lot of bears.
We know.
Cheers.
You know what that
I actually know what that means. Yes, because I have many gay friends.
Oh, come on. That's a universal term. I don't think anybody anywhere does not know what that means.
I didn't know what it meant until I saw that
I
movie
didn't know what I
with,
meant until I moved to the U.S.
Nick Frost, you know what I'm
Because
talking about?
it has to be in your language.
Nick Frost.
Wait, Nick Frost was in a gay movie?
Shaun of the Dead?
No, it's one of his newer movies where he goes to Germany and he gets involved in something.
What the fuck? Find this. I want to know what movie Nick Frost was in that I don't.
Every person in this room has got a handheld mobile device.
Well,
I'm on limited data mode. It's a little slower for me.
My phone is right there.
It doesn't sound as
I am
good
on
if I grab my
unlimited
phone
data
and look for it for the studio audience who doesn't give a shit.
I think it's something with business, unfinished business.
I think we're mostly just talking to ourselves.
Yeah, no one cares about our podcast.
That's okay though.
I care deeply.
It's because we're rambling and we don't have an agenda. And
oh god,
when I looked on YouTube, some of these fucking podcasts go up to like 3 hours, and no one has time for that.
Yeah. That is also true. He was looking through the previous podcasts, and I'm like, aren't they supposed to be like, snappy things that you can listen to while you work out? Because that's what
45 minutes to an hour
does
for like a maximum.
It's because Griffin doesn't edit. Sorry, Griffin.
Wait, no, Griffin edits as fuck. I take 3-hour podcasts and edit that shit down to an hour and a half. Fuck all y'all.
Okay, edit down to 45.
Die.
45 minutes.
I've been listening to really good podcasts about security, like for networks and applications.
That's pretty hot.
It's called
Oh dear God.
Risky.biz. I was gonna give them a little shout out for the 1 or 2 people that might be enjoying this.
People can watch it recorded. It could happen.
I have literally never listened to a podcast in my life,
I'm not
and
really
I
a
go
podcast
outside
person either.
a lot.
I'm still waiting for this to
We've
come
reached 329 people on this show this evening.
Hooray!
They're Russian bots.
Wait. Does that include does that include every time I've logged in to check?
Probably.
So 327. Then.
Hey, did you post this
That's
on
327
CNBC?
of those.
Did you post this on CNBC?
Yes, I did.
Here it is. Okay, it's called
audio for
Unfinished Business.
Fuck.
Unfinished Business. That's a terrible name for a movie.
It's actually pretty funny though if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid.
now?
No, not right now. But
He's not like gonna make you
I
watch
just
it
looked at
on
it
his
and
phone.
I thought, really? You're unlimited data right now. You can't do that.
I can't even watch like a 240p YouTube video at the moment. So
that's sad.
You know, that's.
But at $15 a gig, I'm not going to.
When you're saying things like 240p and 420p and fucking fuck your mom 720p, like all this shit really.
You need to learn this.
Shut your fucking face. I'm an audio engineer, not a fucking video fag.
You're an intern.
You used to do this for a living. You're supposed to know these refresh rates and
I did.
resolutions.
But the point is, we have a shit ton of friends who are really talented in a variety of movie making aspects that we don't do a fucking thing with. We all branch out momentarily in little sparks of inspiration where we do things for like 5 seconds, but we don't actually accomplish a fucking thing. And we could if we put our fucking collective heads together.
Sato 48 would help.
Fuck Sato.
Are you talking about
but
like
it's the only time
species?
something actually gets done.
That's the sad part is
because we have a forced deadline.
But we could actually do something.
I tried Sato. It drives me fucking crazy.
We do
it.
It is.
Too many requirements is the problem. I didn't feel like I could be creative because I just.
There is that, yeah.
5 minutes,
limits you.
and all I had to do in those 5 minutes, all I had time for was to hit every requirement. I'm like, this sucked all joy and interest out of this.
But
it gets people motivated.
You get motivated and you finish it, or you learn what to do next time.
I didn't submit mine because I thought it was shitty. It was an animated film.
I mean, I felt that way about a couple of films, but we still submitted them.
Like if it were live action, I probably would have, but it was an animated film, and just like,
I'm done.
We've seen some pretty terrible films, so.
Jesus Christ! One of them was just reflections and noise. I was like,
one of
them
was 5 minutes of two people driving around in a car.
Oh, I wanted to.
And the quality was terrible. And we were sitting in the audience with these two people, and they were just laughing their fucking asses off the whole time. I'm like, why did you submit this?
See, that's part of why I can't go to the watch parties, because those people are there. Yeah. And I don't, I mean, somebody asked me why I don't drink earlier. It's because I have no inhibitions to start with.
Well, I try not to look down on anyone creatively. But they didn't even put forth an effort, and they were laughing. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I would literally stand up and say, okay, stop. You are the kind of person who sends a picture message of this shit you just took.
Yeah.
By the way, if you do that, that's an immediate block.
Or it's like someone...
Yeah, that's unsolicited shit pics. And for that matter, solicited shit pics.
Yeah, I just...
Pretty much no.
No, we're good here.
You didn't post it on CMG.
But
I had a coworker that sent me
last
one.
year we actually did 2, which was kind of fun. Because he did his that's like fancy and, you know... It's not professional, but everybody knows what the fuck they're doing. And then literally I got roped into being part of one at home where we had a Post-it with some notes on it, and that was our script. And he got a best mention thingy, like a
nomination. It was top 10 nomination for best screenplay.
Nice.
We didn't get that for
I don't know. Post-it note.
Yeah, but by the same token, there are movies, there are Oscar-winning and nominated movies that were mostly ad-libbed.
Yeah. I think the thing is that it doesn't matter how you prepare as long as the end product is good,
And it's cutely funny.
Because a lot of people spend a lot of time and effort, but they don't realize what it kind of takes to make a story good and flow.
Or you want to murder them because after watching their movie, now you feel bad about being alive.
Yes, that is
not a thing that should happen.
And again, I'm with you. I don't want to shit in someone's creative efforts because that's really bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, not everything lands either. Everybody fails. But.
Hopefully it's a learning curve.
Well, I mean, you're not
do a little closer.
Hopefully it's like a learning curve where you can actually. Next year is going to be better because we have seen that a couple of times.
But specifically the one that I'm talking about was so bad that it seemed like they were doing it just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
There's no way they didn't learn anything from it. It was just two people driving around in a car.
Some people want to watch the world burn, and want an audience for that. So.
It's the equivalent of shit posting online.
Literally the equivalent.
It was.
Except you spent a weekend doing it, you asshole.
They probably spent 2 hours.
Maybe. Oh, that's terrible.
But you should give it another try if that's something you're still interested in.
I may, but like I said, the issue I had was I thought the requirements were so restrictive.
They are, and one thing I've learned though from doing this for 4 or 5 years is that they're not actually so strict on the rules as long as you try to get them in there.
That's what everyone told me, but that's not who I am.
And they will only actually They won't really pick apart your film unless someone has a beef with you, because they have favorites who get by on things, and that they took liberties with these films and that they didn't abide by the rules of the contest.
Honestly,
but
most of the films that I've seen that were pretty decent didn't abide by the rules. And that bothered me. I'm like, why have them?
Yeah.
And why follow them?
I mean,
that's what everyone told me, by the way, who's done it when I was doing this. I'm like, what the hell? They're like, oh no, we're only doing these things. I'm like,
yeah, we've called them out before, and they're like, well, it's the spirit of the competition. They're more like guidelines, than rules.
They seem like pretty firm rules to me.
Well, it depends on who you are.
It depends. It's the word rules. I think is at the top of that paper they hand you.
Yeah.
If you're actually black, are we back to that now?
It was last year that we called them out about the time being like a couple of films
Yeah,
at
that
times
was
over what they said that they would allow, and they're like, well, if we, you know, if what's the word I'm thinking of? If we disqualified every film because they missed up one little part of it, then we wouldn't have a competition because we'd have to disqualify almost every film. I'm like,
So
well,
then disqualify
shouldn't you just do
That's
that?
literally
then?
Just
how
do
it
that
is,
because
how rules.
like,
why have
it's
them?
a competition, and I understand the spirit that you're talking about, but as a competition, we're all trying to win.
And I think what you just said there was the cause of my problem with it. I love the idea of it, and I love the spirit. I love the people.
We have a lot of
It was
fun with
great.
it.
I love the energy, but then to actually do it once you're handed that packet, I'm like, this is like I said,
and
what I'm making is going to be so not mine. It's just
some of the props that they make you use, and then the manner they make you use them.
The manner is the problem.
It's not very good.
So the props. So okay, I get the idea here that you want to challenge people.
I think they're also really trying to make it so you can't have a pre-made
And so you
fucking
can't cheat.
movie. Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I think those are the two things. They want to challenge you, and they want to make sure you're not cheating.
But even with all the props and what they make you say, like the experienced people, like they still prepare well in advance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they prepare in a manner that lets them allow whatever you give them to be slipped into the film that they make.
I mean, honestly, you can. And I did check the rules. You can do some pre-production.
But no, like writing of the story, you know, that's what I'm talking about.
Motherfucking mugger.
And you were the best mugger, I gotta say.
You are a good mugger.
I would write a whole film
look
about
so
you.
nonchalant.
But it's only 5 minutes, so you better mug fast.
Yeah, he mugged a lot.
I mugged so hard.
This guy. By the way, the more you say it like that, I'm just picturing going,
This guy over here is gonna be the next killer of Batman's parents, I tell you.
I would kill Batman's parents.
The way he mugged.
He actually would kill Batman's parents.
Yeah, what's that? What has holes in it? What has holes in it walking down an alleyway?
Batman's parents.
A bowling ball, you sick fuck.
I feel like that could be a lot of things.
I will admit that I was slightly sexually attracted to
Batman's parents?
No, not Batman's parents, but
Christian Bale, because we've all been there.
not Christian Bale. Christian Bale,
except for the machinist.
Christian Bale's like fucked up. Like,
he's the weird one that keeps gaining and losing weight.
Yeah, I can't stand Christian Bale.
No, he's not.
What's his name?
Who?
He's weird.
Fucking the Joker.
Fucked up.
Heath Ledger?
Oh.
Heath Ledger's Joker. I was slightly sexually attracted to.
But he won an Oscar for it, so
good.
I would say he's really good looking, but not as the Joker.
I mean,
you know.
No, I prefer him in other.
I'm not gonna lie, Brokeback Mountain,
but he was
the
a
ship
pretty
amongst
good.
1,000
I've
fans.
actually not seen that. I did read it as part of my course work, but I have not seen that movie. Is it worth watching?
It is great, actually. It's a really great film. The author, Annie.
Yeah, because I read the book.
Whatever her last name is, Prolx. Those letters don't go together. Prolx. I don't know. There's an X in there somewhere, but
I don't remember.
anyway, Annie.
I suck at names.
There's always an X ruining things.
Good call. Reminds me. Hi, honey.
Did you see the shout out?
So, moving on. But no, it's a very good film. It's slow and methodical with moments of sort of jarring action.
What movie are we talking about?
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
I still haven't seen that.
No, me neither. That's why I'm asking.
It is actually a really good film. It's complicated and difficult.
Which is actually pretty good.
I heard they were going to make a remake with a lesbian cast. But I don't know if that was legit or.
I think you're talking about that new Ghostbusters movie.
Okay.
That's not new anymore.
They're doing something else, though.
I'm just giving him shit, but
I am really sorry. Like, that was not good. Like, it was just not good.
I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Like, there were some things in it.
okay, hang on. You can enjoy things even though they're not good.
Yeah, but
Suicide Squad was
I
a
feel
terrible
like the
movie,
first,
but I enjoyed it.
The
I
first
enjoyed it as well.
Ghostbusters wasn't that good either. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a fun movie to watch, but when I rewatch it, I'm like,
It
Jesus
is
fucking Christ.
It is worse than you remember it.
Full
I will
shit.
give you that one.
Yes.
The second
and I
Ghostbusters.
kind of feel like the second Ghostbusters lived up to that. They're also full of shit.
No, the
but
second
with
Ghostbusters
females.
is the same damn movie as the first Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
There's like no difference in it.
And that kind of both bothered me, and it was alright.
I really enjoy classic cinema. So like Maltese Falcon, like Casablanca and shit. Like that's
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Sunrise?
That's a good one.
That is a good
So
movie.
I will say I love film and I love cinema and I love movies and
He
those
does.
are all potentially different things.
Makes
But
me watch so many things.
But I'm not like the elitist who looks down on film.
No, you watch everything.
I like a bit of
literally,
everything.
No, I
And-
love
you
shitty
watch
movies.
everything.
I love
And I'm not like, oh, that's, they're so terrible. I'm like, well, it's a pretty fun movie. I mean, I know, like, realistically, it's not a very good premise.
So I just mentioned Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was a fun film. I
We thought it
enjoyed
was
seeing
pretty
it.
enjoyable.
It was a
It wasn't
terrible,
a good
terrible movie. I mean,
And people keep saying, "Oh, their love story is so real." Really?
they
Being
keep-
beaten the shit out of and tortured and thrown out of a fucking chopper is real to you?
Most people are.
Yeah, no, the love story part was wrong and disturbing.
Most
and
people
they-
are blaming Jared Leto for the failure on that, but he didn't really make it fail.
So,
I like
actually,
him,
I'm
but
not
I know
on you
a
with
lot
that
of
one.
people
I think Jared Leto was the worst part of the film by far.
Yeah.
I think, and not only because
I mean, he was like the worst part of a bad film, though.
he was the worst part of a bad film,
But would
having
he
said
have
that-
been better with better direction and a better script?
No, I think Jared Leto himself, because a lot of those decisions,
Because I like him in other things, but in that movie, I didn't. I was like, well, anyone could have probably done what he was doing there.
no, I think he made those decisions himself. He made a lot of decisions and kind of pushed that because of his celebrity, and they let him do it because they thought it'd be crazy and wacky. And
I don't know. He's not. He doesn't really have that much star power.
he just won an Oscar,
I know that,
but
and we'd seen that and we liked it. I mean, I like a lot of the films he's in, but
you know, and it's the Joker, which is kind of a plum role. They cut most of his role from the film, apparently.
it seemed like the marketing was really trying to push this crazy thing that they could market to teenagers.
He said he won't do it again because they cut most of his stuff that he did.
We'll just have to wait for a special cut of that film with all of the Joker materials.
Oh dear God, don't let that happen.
I'm going, gentlemen, going back to work.
What? You're going to work?
Yeah, I'm still.
He's still technically working.
And I'm sick, so.
Stop being
Keep
sick.
that on the record.
Stop being sick.
I'm working on it.
That's all you gotta say.
If I could just stop coughing, I would feel good. That's why I didn't jump in on the podcast one time. I knew I would cough.
Damn!
And then you'd all be infected.
Well, truthfully, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. We haven't really accomplished anything, but hey, whatever, fuck it.
That is usually my
What?
attitude right there.
You gotta say some shit?
Next customer.
So we're almost gonna end it.
All right. I gotta do the business. I gotta do the business portion of our show.
You have to do some.
We gotta do some business.
Give some
Is this
info
your
to the
drink?
listener.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to take a sip of it?
That's fine. It's
pretty good.
I don't need to take a sip
Are
of
you
that.
Are you sure, babe?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
So we want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Mercedes-Benz.
Love you all.
And today, if you go and test drive a Mercedes-Benz and you shit in the console, they will give you 0% APR,
Which is also the same
for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years of your loan. If you can't afford it and you need a 10-year loan, guess what? Shit in the console of a Mercedes-Benz, you're taken care of. 0% APR.
Also showing up at Come and Go and whipping your cock out.
Yeah, if you whip your dick out at Come and Go,
3 free sodas.
you get 3 free sodas. Three free fountain drinks.
Also, thank you very much to Gent Cool Fusion Doritos. Thank you very much. And also, whenever you get a chance, fuckeryinc.com for all of your fuckery needs. Professional trolling services can be yours at
Don't
fuckeryinc.com.
think them ever.
Fuckeryinc.com is a subsidiary of Fapco. Please, by all means, log on to fuckeryinc.com and check that out. If you've enjoyed anything that you've heard tonight, or if you want to send us hate mail, please, by all means, jump
Please
on
send
to
them hate mail.
contextuallyyourspodcast@gmail.com. Also, Gabe Kea can also be found at gabekea.com.
He's about to start a show soon.
Yeah, he's about to hit the
10
stage.
o'clock.
So if you're in Springfield, Missouri, go ahead and check out Gabe down at the Blue Room, which is inside
alive.
Billiards. If you're fucking stupid, then you don't know where that's at. But
he's
it's inside
hilarious.
Blue Room. Yeah, funny guy. Really cool dude. Go down, say hi, tell him that you heard him on the show.
If you were watching, you didn't hear him, because I didn't have the audio on for the podcast.
Yeah, Jeff fucked up.
I fucked up really bad.
He's a fuck up.
But he's a really funny guy, so you should go see him if you're in town.
Exactly. So once again, thank you so much for being for listening tonight, and have a wonderful,
Jeff's
fantastic
a terrible
evening.
person.
Jeff is a terrible person. He's kind of a douche, but I love him.
Contextually yours.